Hey, everybody, and welcome to this live stream of the three federal by-elections taking place tonight. I'm Éric Grenier with my friend and co-host of the Numbers and Les Chiffres podcast, Philippe J. Fournier. Everybody, at the beginning, as always, before I give Philippe the mic, let us know if you can see and hear us correctly, because we're just a couple guys in front of a computer. But Philippe, how are you doing tonight?
Bonsoir, Éric. Very happy to be with you tonight. Bonsoir tout le monde. On va parler français et anglais ce soir, très important. Donc, ne partez pas si vous entendez une langue ou l'autre. Nous allons switcher de langue à quelques reprises. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Éric. And so, here we are. It feels like it's the end of a long stretch. Many conventions, many obligations for us, many media. This weekend was a long one. And now we have these by-elections. Alors, j'ai très, très hâte de voir les résultats ce soir, particulièrement dans Terrebonne. Éric, avant, on n'a pas encore de résultats, bien sûr. We don't have results, but they're coming. What will you be looking for tonight? And I know it's not original, but let's start with this.
Well, who is going to win and who will lose tonight? I am just mostly interested in winners and losers. But no, there's going to be lots of things to watch. So I'll give people an idea of kind of how to expect things to go tonight. So on the left of your screen are my face and Philippe's handsome face. And on the right of the screen, we have the results from Elections Canada. So you can find that at elections.ca. So we'll be following this results page through the night. You can see we have the results for University-Rosedale, the results for Scarborough Southwest, and the results in Terrebonne. These are the three by-elections that are taking place tonight. University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest are in Toronto. We expect that these will go pretty smoothly and that they will be possible to make a call pretty early. Terrebonne is going to be a bit more complicated. There are 48 candidates, and you can see them all here. And the Elections Canada decided that because of the long ballot, like they did in Battle River Crowfoot for Pierre Poilievre, people have to write in the names of the candidates, and that means that it'll be a slower count. So we're kind of expecting that we're going to spend the first little while talking mostly about University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest, and then we will go to Terrebonne, and la portion pour Terrebonne va être plus en français qu'en anglais. Maybe, we'll see. But that is kind of what we're looking for tonight. I mean, the two Toronto by-elections we're expecting to go pretty predictably, pretty safe ridings for the Liberals in the last election, but then it's all Terrebonne. We were both at the Montreal convention at the Liberal convention. We were there covering it as media. Almost everybody asked me, what do you think is going to happen in Terrebonne?
It was universal, and it's okay. I mean, we're the numbers people, and you have conventioneers looking at a very important by-election. Something that I think you and I discuss often in our streams is that we often put way too much importance on by-elections, but these ones actually really matter. There's no precedent for government going from a minority to majority in this fashion. Not with floor crossers, of course, but also through by-elections. Apologies. And so tonight, if there's a Liberal sweep, we will have, on the next time the House of Commons reconvenes, a Liberal majority with the two-seat cushion. If the Bloc takes Terrebonne, as some expect, I talked to people today, and some expect the Bloc to cause a surprise in Terrebonne, then you would have, a majority, but like a majority on the nose, which is never comfortable, obviously. Do you think, Éric, the fact that there's all these clown independents running in Terrebonne? Yeah, I said it. Do you think it would have an effect on the result? Because we saw that in Battle River Crowfoot in Alberta, the results were pretty much what we expected, and there were like hundreds of clown candidates.
Yeah, there's over 200. And it didn't really impact much. And I looked at it. The number of rejected ballots was only 0.4%, which is actually low. Usually it's somewhere closer to 1%. So I don't really think it's going to have that much of an impact. There were some people talking about the fact that Mark Carney had the signs in Terrebonne that said Mark Carney. And, the fact that you got to write in the candidates might cause some issues. But I don't think so. But speaking of Terrebonne, so, as we do on these by-election nights, sometimes we get a little bit of a drink.
Yes.
So tonight, what are
you drinking, my friend?
Now, this is not an ad. When I was in Montreal, I tried to find if there was any breweries from Terrebonne. So I found this one. It's the Brasserie Mille. There we go.
Very good.
And it is a lager, and I just took a sip. It's pretty good. So there we go. I'm tasting Terrebonne tonight as we watch, because it could be a long night. I do have another one. I'm hoping I don't have to get to it. But if we get until hour 4 or 5, I might crack her open. But that's what we're doing tonight. Philippe, I know, did you take a trip out to Terrebonne to find something?
No, I did not. No, but good on you to find a microbrewery, because there are great microbreweries in many regions of Quebec, including Terrebonne. And the fact that you said it was good is great, because they're not, there's no commandite here, right? There's no advertising.
Yeah,
it
no,
could
there's-
have,
yeah.
it could
If
have
I
been
didn't like
terrible.
it, I
Like,
would
oh
have
my
spit it
God,
out
this
and
is
people
this,
would have seen it. Yeah.
this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Would have been
But
funny.
no, this
But
was Mille, and it is from Terrebonne. So there you go.
excellent.
Okay.
Un peu en français,
Oui,
si vous me
absolument.
permettez, tout le monde. Just a little bit in French. Donc, nous croyons que les résultats à Toronto vont être dévoilés un peu plus rapidement. Il y a moins de candidats. Ce sont des bulletins de vote traditionnels où est-ce que les gens font juste un X ou un crochet, alors que dans Terrebonne, les électeurs doivent écrire le nom, ce qui veut dire que les gens qui comptent les votes doivent dévoiler et regarder. Et bien sûr, bon, Élection Canada, on dit que s'il y avait des fautes, c'était pas la fin du monde, tant que c'était clair, l'intention de l'électeur. Alors, bien sûr, les électeurs ne peuvent pas écrire Mark Carney, et on imagine que quelques personnes vont avoir
Ou
fait
même
ça.
le nom de parti. Il faut mettre le nom du
Exact.
candidat.
J'ai demandé une question, on m'a pas répondu à ça, mais si quelqu'un écrivait quelque chose comme Tatiana Libérale, ou bien, c'est quoi le nom complet? Parce que madame...
Nathalie Saint-Clair Desgagnés.
C'est ça, Nathalie Saint-Clair-Desgagnés, c'est long peut-être. Si tu écris juste Saint-Clair-Desgagnés, est-ce que ça compte? Tant que l'intention est claire, ça va être compilé. Et évidemment, à la fin de la soirée, si l'écart entre les libéraux et le Bloc est juste d'une dizaine ou une vingtaine de votes, ça s'en va à un recomptage judiciaire, et chaque vote va être scruté et va être analysé par une équipe et un juge. Donc, je veux dire, les résultats ont été annulés par la Cour suprême à cause d'une erreur d'Élection Canada. C'était, on peut dire, je pense, la bonne décision. C'était un vote de différence. Mais je pense que Élection Canada a fait ce qu'il pouvait dans le contexte où est-ce que c'était peut-être la meilleure idée. D'avoir le bulletin de vote d'1 mètre de long n'était peut-être pas la meilleure idée. Donc, anyway, so yeah, looking forward to this. It's highly anticipated. I think if the Liberals win, yeah, they'll feel good about themselves and they have a cushion. If the Bloc wins, the Bloc will have a little good news, which they haven't had in a little while. And also, maybe there will be a perception that this momentum for the Liberals will be diminished or stopped. But again, maybe we're making too much out of it, but this one matters. So.
Yeah, like you said, just to set the count, it's 171 right now that the Liberals have in the House of Commons. You need 172 for majority. If they win the 2 in Toronto, as is expected, they'll be at 173. If they also win in Terrebonne, they'll be at 174. So that'll be giving them extra cushion in the House of Commons. So the majority government is, I mean, technically they already have a majority because of these 3 vacancies with the floor crossing of Maryland Gladue. But if they win the 2 in Toronto, as is expected, and then the one in Terrebonne as well, they will have a majority. So why don't we start with the ridings where we expect the numbers to come in first. And like I said, the polls have closed in all 3, but we're waiting for the first counts. Usually takes 10, 15 minutes. So University-Rosedale, let's start with this one. So this is the riding in downtown Toronto. It's actually where Queen's Park is located. This was the riding of Chrystia Freeland, the former finance minister, foreign minister. I think she was, what was she before that? International. And ended up, I think, with transport.
She did a lot of things.
Yeah, she did a lot of things. She ran for the leadership as well against Mark Carney. So she resigned earlier at the end of last year. And so this riding was a pretty safe one for the Liberals. In the last election, just to look at the result, Freeland got 64%. The Conservative candidate got 23.5%. The NDP got 10%. And the Greens got 2%. So what's to look at in University-Rosedale tonight?
Well, I think it would be fair to say that the second place finish could be interesting, and not that it will be overly important, but if I look at the results in that riding or that version of the riding that Ms. Freeland has held in the last 4 elections, the second place finish in 2015, in 2019, in 2021 was the NDP with around 25%, give or take a few points, of the vote. But in 2025, the NDP did not do so well. It was the Conservative who finished in second place. The NDP had 9.9%. So it was a pretty bad fall for the NDP. Obviously, when you look at the swing and the results, most of that NDP vote that left the NDP went towards the Liberals. And it was not only in Toronto that we saw that phenomenon. It was pretty widespread across the country. Now that the NDP has a new leader, and again, he just got there and he's not elected, perhaps some voters will feel that it's time to go back to the NDP. I'm not saying the NDP has a chance here to win. That's not what I'm saying. But maybe aiming for second place ahead of the Conservatives could be a reasonable achievement for them. The numbers, the polling that we have seen, both the national polling and the subsamples in Ontario, are not showing an NDP recovery just yet, so this would be a surprise. But I would say that's a reasonable thing to watch. What about you, Éric?
Yeah, just the last time the NDP finished second was in 2021. They had 25%, 20 for the Conservatives in that election. It was only 48 for the Liberals, so it shows you how much of a bump they got in the last election, even in Toronto. So I guess it is just to see who finishes second in this one. We both kind of expect that Danielle Martin will win this pretty easily. She's a pretty well-known physician. She's probably best known because at some point, I can't remember for what reason, but she testified at the U.S. Congress about the Canadian healthcare system. So she's, and she's been in media, so she's kind of like a publicly known healthcare provider, physician. So she's got a pretty good shot to do pretty well, I think, even just regardless of how well the Liberals are doing in the riding. So that's something to watch. We saw the turnout in the advanced turnout wasn't very big in University-Rosedale.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like there'll be a high turnout, which is also the case in Scarborough Southwest, but not in Terrebonne. We'll get to that after a bit.
Yeah.
Turnout was pretty high there. So now if we look at Scarborough Southwest, this one has a little bit more kind of going for it. So just to give people the results from last time, the Liberals had 61.5%, the Conservatives had 30.6%, the NDP had 5%, the Greens had 1.4%, and the PPC had 1%. Why it's notable is that the Liberal candidate is Dolly Begum, who was a three term, I think, NDP
2018
MPP. So she was one of the deputy leaders. I think the Ontario NDP had a few of them. But she was one of those, and she is crossing the metaphorical floor from the Ontario NDP over to the federal Liberals, running as the candidate there. So the question is, how much of the vote will she keep, or will she take some more? Like, as I said, the NDP only had 5% in the last election, so there's not a lot of vote there. But will there be any sort of reaction, positive or negative, to her crossing the partisan floor? At the
color, change colors. I would say it's doubtful that these 5% that the NDP got in the last federal election would suddenly switch to Liberal. I mean, you would think that not many of them would, but I do wonder whether having a more left of center Liberal running in that riding could perhaps tempt some people to go to Conservatives. Are there centrist Liberals? Are there people that would like to have a more centrist or maybe slightly right of center government that doesn't? But she was elected in the same riding or roughly the same borders, right? And so they know her locally. She is known. So again, perhaps all these slight effects will cancel each other, and she'll have 60% of the vote, and it will be the status quo. But she could have 48. Or she could have 70, and suddenly maybe there's a story to tell here. So that should be pretty interesting. Again, we're talking about the Liberals will probably win. That's what we expect. The Conservatives second, NDP distant third. So maybe there's not that much. We're grasping at straws here, but it is interesting that in the same month that you have a former provincial NDP running for the Liberals, you had floor crossers from the Conservatives and not any floor crosser. By the way, to that point, my friend, my phone just vibrated a few seconds ago and I had the flashbacks from our previous episode. So those who don't know, in the episode, when the episode started, I forgot to shut my phone. Very impolite, I know. And I told Éric, hang on, I'm going to mute this because I don't know why my phone is ringing right now. And turns out that there was a floor crosser during the episode. Mm-hmm. so just making sure. Okay, nobody crossed the floor.
Yeah,
okay, we're good for now. But the night is young, so you never know.
Yeah, just to also to close the loop on Scarborough Southwest, to show the weird times we're in. Dolly Begum, former Ontario NDP MPP, was now campaigning as a Liberal candidate and got the endorsement, or he helped her. John Tory, former Toronto mayor and also former leader of the Ontario PCs, is telling people in Scarborough Southwest to vote for Dolly Begum. So
we have results.
We do have results. So why don't we get to that?
But, yes.
Ouais, on a des résultats en Terrebonne.
Terrebonne est le premier à montrer des résultats, Éric. Terrebonne, bravo. Okay. Excellent.
C'est 33 votes pour Tatiana Auguste, c'est 22 pour Nathalie Sinclair-Desgagnés et 1 vote pour Benjamin Rankin. C'est un boîte et ça veut dire absolument rien.
Ben, ça veut dire, OK. Ça veut dire rien, mais intéressant. Donc, une course à deux comme on croyait. On a une boîte de scrutin. On s'attend à voir. Il y a eu combien de votes par anticipation? C'était 18 000 quelque chose comme ça. Je me rappelle des chiffres. 18 000. Donc maintenant, nous avons quoi? Nous avons 56 votes de compter. Donc on va pouvoir avoir une projection très bientôt. Ready to make a call in Terrebonne, Éric? No? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, so... The thing is, people have to remember, as the first results came in, and as mentioned, we just have this one in Terrebonne where Auguste is ahead by 11 votes, is that we don't know where they come in. This isn't in the United States where they know exactly which counties are reporting and which votes. Elections Canada just gives us here's some results. Who knows where they're from? They're from anywhere in the riding. Could be advanced poll, could be special ballot. We don't know. So we never know.
Eventually. Eventually.
Yeah.
But not tonight.
Yes, eventually it is revealed. You're right. But on election night, the count is just whoever finished counting their box first. So we never really know what's going on early in the night because, for example, this one is an 11-vote lead for Auguste. Could have been from one of the polls that she won last time. Could have been from one of the polls that she lost last time. We don't know.
We don't know.
So we do have to wait a little bit. But... it's nice to see that we have some results. And you know what's actually a good sign? This is from the one that's supposed to take the longer amount of time.
That's right. That's right.
So that could be a good sign.
The last stream that we did, well, not the last one, but the most memorable stream that you and I did on Saint-Jean-Baptiste was it 2024? So almost 2 years. The night of Game 7 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, a game that ended 2-1. Oh, heartbreak. We stayed until close to 2 a.m. Or I think it was past 2 a.m. And we still didn't have the winner. And I went to bed completely shot, tired. And my phone kept vibrating. Philippe, come back! The Conservatives are leading! So... I don't think we're facing this right now because the results have started coming in. So, good.
And I think we'll also stick it out at this time in case we have to.
Well, I think so too. But if it's this, of course. We'll have to stay until the end. It's just that I don't think we'll be here until 2 or 3 a.m. There were still a lot of people that were there. So, election nerds, salute. Thank you for being here. We love you, of course. We love you.
Oh, and we saw so many at the conventions. So I went to both the NDP and the Liberal one. You also went to the Conservative one. Lots of people came up to say hello, shake our hands, and it was just great to meet so many different people from all different backgrounds, all different ages.
It was nice.
Our demographics are like 0 to 100, it seems, and everything in between. So we got some more results from Terrebonne. This is the second polling box, and that seems to be the only one at the moment. What's kind of interesting, though, we got 78 votes for Auguste, 69 for Sinclair-Desgagnés, and 1 vote apiece for Beaudoin of the NDP and 1 for Rankin of the Greens. I know, as I just said, these are just individual poll boxes and all this, but it's a polarized race.
As we kind of expected. So $2 out of 211. So, okay, so this is just starting. 0.16% of the vote is counted. So it's okay. But yeah, polarized race. And we see that the independents have 0 votes. Interesting. We're still waiting on results from the 2 Toronto. Is it still 0? Yes, it is still 0. Okay. But man, one more box. And the margin is still 11 votes still. 132 votes pour Madame Auguste des Libéraux. 121 votes pour Nathalie Sinclair-Desgagnés du Bloc Québécois. The NDP has had a surge, 4 votes. The Greens still at 1. Oh, and Conservatives are now on the board with 1 vote.
All right. Where are you getting your results? You seem to be ahead of me.
Election Canada. Just auto-refresh.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it's because I'm closer to the internet.
Oh, there we
from
go.
Terrebonne
Okay,
still. There you go.
132, okay. All right.
Voilà.
Everything's fine. Okay, yeah. We still don't have anything for the other two. While we're here,
Ça va être serré.
well, I guess we'll keep it for a little bit later in terms of because you took a trip to Drummondville.
Yes, I did.
But we'll have some things to discuss later on.
Nous avons une première ministre désignée, designate.
Yeah.
So
have they said when she's going to be sworn in?
Wednesday morning we'll remove that designate term from. I heard premier elect and I was like, come on, man, this is not the United States. It's designate, but
all right,
not to be too.
As we say, like before we start getting some results and we're going to set some expectations. Let's start from the bottom. All right. What's a good night for the NDP? With all due respect to the NDP, you're the fourth party in the House.
Yeah. Well, we don't expect anything in Terrebonne or Scarborough. As I said, the second place finish in University-Rosedale would be a little balm on the very difficult year for the NDP. Still a big step though, because again we know that local races can be very different from what we see in the national numbers and the provincial numbers. There's no indication that the NDP is making a comeback just yet in the numbers. Our projections, I think you and I are very close on this. We have the NDP at between 5 and 8 seats, between 6 and 8% usually. You have Nanos that has the NDP a bit higher, but nothing close to what we could say as, the NDP has recovered from the fall of last year. So a good night for the NDP. I think a second place in University-Rosedale.
I think it would be
the
a
rest
really
is,
good night.
Yeah, that would be a good night. Yeah.
I think for them, if they can just crack double digits in either of the Toronto ridings, that would be because as we've talked a lot often on the podcast, the NDP just does so poorly in by-elections. Their vote just doesn't come out when they're not in it. So if they can show some life in a by-election, even if it's a tiny bit, up 0.5 in University-Rosedale, I think they would take that as a decent night.
Le Bloc québécois a pris l'avance par un vote cette fois-ci. Arrêtez de compter, stop the count. The Bloc québécois is leading by 1 vote in Terrebonne. It's going to be that all night. So.
Yeah, ça va être une nuit comme ça, je pense. Et peut-être ça va être le cas que j'avais besoin de mon deuxième...
La deuxième bière.
Ouais, de Mille-Îles, brasserie de Terrebonne. Before we do the Bloc, because they're kind of the second party, I think, tonight, what's a good night for the Conservatives? Second place in both University-Rosedale, Scarborough Southwest. They were third in Terrebonne. With a decent result, 18%, which was their best result here, I think, probably as a party since the merger. What would be a good night for the Conservatives tonight?
A good night for the Conservatives is the Bloc Québécois wins Terrebonne. The rest, we could play on the margins. But if the Bloc Québécois wins in Terrebonne, there's a momentum shift. There is also this air. I mean...
So wait, are you saying that the Conservatives need the Bloc to win? For it to be a good night for the Conservatives?
Well, they don't need the Bloc to win, but they would like to have the Liberals maybe come down from their cloud and say, you're not invincible, by the way. Also, we should state that if we had a general election right now and not by-elections, I think we would agree that while Terrebonne would be close in a result, it would lean Liberal. Because if the Liberals are projected at 200 seats, or maybe a little more even, surely that includes Terrebonne. But the fact that it's a by-election, that the Bloc Québécois was able to focus its resources only in one riding, and also the defeated candidate, the Bloc Québécois, imagine the sympathy that you get. You lose by 1 vote, and then you discover that the lady who voted Bloc received her vote back in the mail because the postal code was wrong. It was a huge story here, and so the sympathy vote is something. I'm not saying people would switch their vote for her, but I think it would be easier for her to go around the riding and make that case for her that the Elections Canada screwed us basically. It was a mistake. There was nothing malicious out there, but it was a mistake, and we have to redo this. And Mark Carney has a majority, so why not send another Bloc MP to Ottawa to defend our interest? I think this case can easily be made by Madame Saint-Clair de Gagny. What about you? What do you think is a good night for the Conservatives?
It's a lot on the block about a good night for the Conservatives.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to win any of these.
No,
so.
I know, of course, but it was just the NDP.
Oh,
I
we
think
have
it's that they
results.
need to hold the vote, a lot of the vote that they got last time. I
Yeah,
know it's a
that's
trait
fair.
thing, but look, in Scarborough Southwest in 21, 2019, and in 2015, they had around 21% of the vote. They didn't win any of those elections. University-Rosedale, they had 20%, 16, 18%. So you see where they're like normal, like the Andrew Scheer, Aaron O'Toole numbers, which Pierre Poilievre does not want to match, are around 19-20% in University-Rosedale and are around 21% Scarborough Southwest. So I think that the Conservatives need to be above that to show that they're not in Aaron O'Toole or Andrew Scheer land. And
Yeah.
that's kind of it. Like, if they get surpassed by the NDP in one of those, that's a pretty bad result, I think, for them. So we'll see what happens there. As we were talking, we did get some results in Scarborough Southwest. Wait, let me just refresh this to make sure there is. So we got one poll box. We got 50 votes for Dolly Begum, 8 for Diana Filipova of the Conservatives, and 7 for Fatima Shaban of the NDP. So 73% in that first box for Dolly Begum. As we said, it all depends on which box is coming in.
Do you know le Parti de l'Héritage Chrétien? I see here 3 votes for.
Oh, yeah. Christian
Do you know
Heritage
that party?
Party. They're still around. By the way, you can leave comments. We're going to try to keep an eye on them as best we can, but there can be a lot. We can lose them. And I saw one question why some of the candidates are independent and some of them are no affiliation. It's because when you fill out the form for what candidate you're going to be, you can put independent in the box, or if you don't put anything, they count you as no affiliation. Doesn't really matter. It has no difference in how you're counted or anything like that. But normally people write in that they're independent, but if you don't put anything, Elections Canada just says no affiliation. But effectively, they're the same thing. It's just whether you filled in the box. I do find it interesting and worth noting that the only non-affiliated candidate here is Sébastien Coe-Rhino, who is the leader of the Rhinoceros Party, who is affiliated with the Longest Ballot Committee. So that's the story there.
But is everybody running for the Rhinos? So
yes,
just
they do actually have someone running for the Rhinos, I believe.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
they have Mark Mutter.
Splitting the Rhino vote. Bad idea.
They're not ready. They're just not ready for government. Okay, so pour le Bloc québécois, bonne soirée, c'est juste de gagner à Terrebonne. Il n'y a pas vraiment un bon résultat s'ils sont deuxièmes.
Non, c'est ça. The Bloc has to win Terrebonne. C'est ça qui fait une belle soirée pour le Bloc québécois. Je dirais même peut-être gagner de façon décisive. Il n'y aura pas vraiment de différence à la fin de la soirée si le Bloc gagne par 10 votes ou gagne par 1000 votes. Mais une victoire décisive pourrait remontrer non. Terrebonne qui va aux libéraux, c'était un accident. Les banlieues de Montréal sont à nous, elles vont revenir à nous à la prochaine élection. C'était un vote emprunté et maintenant on le reprend. Donc je pense qu'une victoire décisive, je pense qu'évidemment le terme décisif peut être interprété à différentes sauces. Peut-être qu'on doit dire, je pense que moi j'avais dit une victoire par 3 ou 4 points, ça serait vraiment clair, parce que la dernière fois, c'était un vote sur presque 100 000 votes. Mais une bonne soirée pour le Bloc québécois. Et aussi, c'est ça, de montrer aux libéraux que, ouais, vous avez gagné beaucoup de sièges et beaucoup de votes au Québec, mais on est encore là et on va aussi se préparer pour l'élection québécoise dans 5 mois. Ça s'en vient rapidement, n'est-ce pas? Donc, il y a ça aussi à voir dans le rétroviseur. Pas dans le rétroviseur, mais à l'horizon.
Ouais. Ouais, c'est juste si gang, c'est une bonne nuit pour le Bloc québécois. Si c'est assez serré, on peut dire qu'au moins c'est statu quo, mais si on voit des libéraux qui gagnent par 5 ou 10 points, quelque chose comme ça c'est une mauvaise soirée pour le Bloc québécois. We have another box in Scarborough Southwest. That's 2 out of 188, so still a big lead for Dolly Begum. She's got 70%.
C'est bien parti pour les libéraux, ici. Ouais.
I mean, we could have been a little bit like the U.S. election night when Arkansas or Nebraska closed, not Nebraska,
It's blue.
but like Montana or Utah or whatever, and just call it as soon as the polls close. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, we could call. I would be prepared to call University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest, but we're not. We're going to have a little bit of responsibility here and wait.
Yeah. Is it 2 bucks? I mean, hang on here.
There are 2 boxes.
There are 211. No, hang on. That's 5 boxes. Here, am I in the wrong space? Oh no. Sorry. What the? They all
Terrebonne
show
is
it on
5
the same
boxes.
page. Oh, okay. I see it. I got it. Je suis pas préparé. So, voilà. Donc, two box out of 188. I think we have to wait until 10 boxes. That's like
10 boxes?
just
Okay,
over
we
5.
can wait till that.
Yeah, just
so
over
once we get to
5%.
10 boxes, we'll be close to 10% of the boxes reporting, so that's not too bad. Okay, and then for the Liberals.
For the Liberals, it's a sweep. Now, okay, they would be happy.
If they don't win Terrebonne, it's a disappointing night, right?
It's a disappointing night. They'll go forward and they'll forget about it and they'll say we'll win it next time. But considering what happened in the next year, in the past 12 months, them coming back and winning that election against all odds, and then having great numbers since January, holding that convention in Montreal, which was a big party.
It was a huge convention.
It was a huge convention, and it was very c'était très festif. It was very festive. They were in a great mood. There were discussions, and I think you and I maybe approached this. I'm not sure if it was on a podcast, but winning Terrebonne would send a signal that we have a majority. We got it through attracting MPs, disappointed MPs from all sides, the NDP and the Conservatives. We have great approval numbers in the polls, and now we're winning Terrebonne. And so voters, I mean, they would have more legitimacy, right? And legitimacy in our system is very important. I know that floor crossers, I know they are controversial, especially those who lose floor crossers. They're not happy about it. It's part of our system. But having a majority through floor crossing has never been done. And I think many voters don't like it. If they win Terrebonne, on top of everything that happened, it adds a touch of legitimacy. So that's a good night for the Liberals.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you could make the argument for all of them. I mean, everybody, as we saw in University-Rosedale, they start all with 0 votes. So, I mean, if the Liberals win them, then people said they were okay with giving a majority, I guess, in those ridings. So, yeah, you could kind of make that argument. For the Liberals, a win is a win, I think, for them, because as we've talked a lot, Terrebonne is not a typical riding for them. But also, like, the results in Scarborough Southwest and University-Rosedale, I think will matter a bit. Like, if they are down 5 points in them, like, that wouldn't be great, right? They're supposed to be able to nearly sweep Toronto. If they manage to eke out a win by more votes than last time in Terrebonne, that's growth. So I guess we'll see there. I did get a question about whether the calculator would make an appearance. Calculator still.
There it is.
It is. I gotta say though, just so people can see it, it's pretty like encrusted and old.
It looks like
I looked it up. I think it's from the early '90s. I don't remember time before this. It was made in Thailand.
Where?
There you go. But it's starting to feel its age. The 1 does not work very well, and the 1 is a pretty important number. So it goes through its paces. So if you guys want to leave some questions, we'll try to answer them through the night, especially when things are a little bit slower. Okay, so that's the Liberals in terms of having a good night or a bad night, and I think it's expected that they'll have. It's going to be a weird night though for them. Like if they either way, like we're expecting that they win University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest, no real problem.
Yeah.
And if they lost Terrebonne by 1 vote.
By 1.
It wouldn't mean that, there's been a big shift, but it would be like the Liberals have had pretty much no real issues since the last election, right? When you look at the polls, you look at in terms of like public support and this kind of thing, there was a little bit of a dip in Liberal support at the end of the year last year, but it wasn't, they were still leading. This would be like their first setback if they don't win Terrebonne. It's just been kind of good news from Mark Carney. Floor crossers, strong polls, a speech that people like and talk about around the world, and then a loss in Terrebonne. It's kind of funny how the voters in this riding could end up being the only ones who kind of take them down a notch after, almost a year and a half of almost unbridled success.
Yeah. Would there be a narrative that, okay, let's say the Bloc wins by 50 votes? Like a ridiculously small margin that is still larger than the 1 vote.
By 50 times.
By 50-fold, that's right. Let's say the Bloc wins by 50 votes. It goes to a recount. Okay, she wins. Can the Liberals says, listen, we did our best. We still got a good result. It's not supposed to be a Liberal seat anyway. I would buy it. It's still a loss. I would buy it. But as I said, if they lose by 2-3 points in Terrebonne, and then you say, okay, well, maybe then you look at the election map and you say, well, can they win Longueuil again? Can they win La Prairie again? Just next door, Rivière-des-Mille-Îles, that's la couronne de Montréal, les Basses-Laurentides and la Montérégie. Can they win there again? Because if they can't, they will have to offset this somewhere. They won 20 seats in British Columbia, as you and I said many times. The Liberals never won 20 seats in British Columbia, ever. And so this was a high. They did very well in Atlantic Canada. The only place where they would have to offset this in Ontario. In Ontario, the Conservatives beat their polls and took many votes from the NDP in southwestern Ontario. So, yeah, the narrative can switch depending on just a few dozen votes here, which is interesting. But again, we'd like to overblow this. Is that how you say it? Overblow? It's overblown, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the end, if they get the 2 in Toronto, they will have the majority, and they'll also have the extra majority. So, in case people know how it works, the speaker, who is a Liberal because he won the election to be the speaker in the House of Commons, he only votes when there's a tie in the House, and the speaker, by convention, votes to keep discussion going on bills. But he also votes to keep the status quo, which means that sometimes he would vote against amending legislation because that would represent a change. But if there's a confidence vote, he would vote to keep a government in power because defeating the government would also be a change. There was a lot of debate about what the Liberals could do with committees. Because the Liberals didn't win a majority government in the last election, the Conservatives and Bloc actually enjoy a majority on all the committees, despite the fact that the two parties together don't have a majority because the NDP is not an official party, a recognized party in the House. They don't get any seats. To change the committee makeup, that would be going against the status quo. So the speaker, if he was breaking the tie, would probably not vote for that. So winning more than just a 1-seat majority is important because then they don't need the speaker to break a tie. If they win both the Toronto ridings, they will get that 1 seat extra or get the 2-seat majority. They won't need the speaker to break a tie. Terrebonne means there's just another kind of backup, right? Because people can, be late for a vote. People can get sick. They can resign. There could be scandals in the next few years or next few months, and MPs resign. These people once in a while.
That happens, yeah.
So
big egos.
Having more of a cushion in the House is important. That's what Terrebonne would give the Liberals, assuming they don't get the 5 to 8 floor crossers that's being discussed. Should we do the floor crosser draft right now?
So for those who don't listen to our podcast every week or are not members, and you should become members of the podcast, by the way, thenumberspod.ca. You get great perks, extra episodes and stuff. But many of our members discussed, hey, why don't you do a floor crosser draft? Now, we take the list of all the MPs, we look at the results from the past election, and then we say, okay, who's more likely? Obviously, we were not going to do that. It would be just assuming that we know the insides and what's going on inside the head of some MPs who are disgruntled with the state of their party. I'm talking mostly with the Conservative, but not uniquely with the Conservatives. We can't do that. But while we were discussing this, we heard the news that Marilyn Gladu of Sarnia-Lambton crossed the floor. And had we done, for the sake of it, a floor crosser draft, you could have given me 50 picks. I would never have picked Marilyn Gladu. So who knows? What was interesting is that the previous floor crossers, we look at their writings, they were all pretty close in the election. And you could think that with the current numbers that the Liberals enjoy, depending on the poll between 6 and 12 points advantage for the Liberals have a good shot of winning all these seats. Edmonton Riverbend was, I think, a 5-point difference.
Yep.
Acadie-Annapolis was really close. Same thing for Nunavut. And what's the other one? Markham-Unionville was really close too. So these seats would go Liberal. But Sarnia-Lambton, if there was an election right now, I don't think you would label that Liberal lean. It would still be a Conservative seat.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good thing that we didn't do that draft because
we would have looked bad.
We look, yeah, especially, yeah, we would have ruffled a few feathers, but it was just good fun. So
Yeah,
no worries.
anyway.
We won't do it tonight.
No, we
either.
won't do it. Out of these three, I don't think we'll have any floor crossers. Although I guess technically
Did they stop counting in Terrebonne? They counted 4 bucks and they said we're done?
They're packing it up. They're done for
Yeah.
the night. They're like,
5
oh,
bucks.
1 vote. That's what makes us
That's it.
comfortable. That's what we like. But we did get another box in Scarborough Southwest. Dolly Begum still holding a lead of 90 votes, 68% of the vote. As a reminder, the Liberals got 61.5%. So really anything over 60 is quite good because Bill Blair got 58 in 2021. He got 57 in 2019. He got 53 in 2015. So anything over 60 is still a strong result for the Liberals, and that's where they are now. We'll wait before we call it just for fun. Okay. Why not? It's not going to be...
What did we say? Did we say 5? We said 10 bucks.
Is it 10 boxes?
10 boxes. Yeah, we're at 5 now. Okay, we'll wait. 10 boxes, about 5% of the boxes. So we'll...
Were you already at 5?
No, 5% of
they're
boxes.
Going fast. All right.
Yeah.
So now it's 68% still, 12% for the Conservatives, 9% for the NDP. 9% would be growth. They had 5% in the last election. But it's a tricky one, right? For the NDP, they held this in 2011, Scarborough Southwest. They won it.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And they've won it in provincial elections over the last 3 elections.
That's right.
It just shows how many of these ridings have a lot of switch voters, right?
Yeah.
In this Scarborough Southwest and University-Rosedale, which is also held by the Ontario NDP, lots of people just voted. Well, a lot of people didn't vote. That's probably another thing too in Ontario. But they just voted for the Styles NDP within the last 14 months. And now they're voting for Mark Carney's Liberals twice, if this goes as expected. And you can say the same thing in Terrebonne, right? The Parti Québécois just got 53% of the vote here. Although right now the Bloc's at 49, so maybe a bit of overlap there.
You just poked my curiosity there. You said that in 2011, Scarborough Southwest was NDP. So was Terrebonne, right? And so I just looked it up, and University-Rosedale did not exist. It was a different map. But if you look at the writing of University-Rosedale, it covers. If you look at the 2011 map, it's a mix of Trinity-Spadina and Toronto Centre, right? Mm-hmm. And Toronto Centre, do you remember who it was in 2011? It was Liberal.
Yeah, it was Bob Ray, wasn't it?
It was Bob Ray, former NDP, of course. And in Trinity-Spadina, it was the NDP. Do you remember who that was?
Yes, it was Olivia Chow.
Yes, the current mayor of... So you would say that in 2011, the NDP held 2.5 of these ridings, right? So, yeah, times have changed. But, hey, it's new leader. Jack Layton needed 4 elections to make a breakthrough. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if Monsieur Lewis will last that long. So.
Mais en 2011, le comté était Terrebonne-Blainville. C'était un peu différent, mais les néo-démocrates avaient 49%.
Incroyable, hein?
31% pour le Bloc, 9% pour les libéraux. En 2015, c'était 26% pour les NPD, 33% pour le Bloc, 28% pour les libéraux. Et ça continue
d'augmenter pour le Bloc après.
Augmenter pour le Bloc, mais diminuer pour les NPD, 8% en 2019, 7% en 2021 et 3% en 2025. Donc, les choses ont changé à Terrebonne dans les dernières 15 ans, mais aussi Terrebonne a changé.
Pas juste Terrebonne. Oui, Terrebonne a grandi. C'est une banlieue de Montréal, mais c'est une banlieue qui est en croissance depuis...
Plus de 100 000 personnes maintenant, je crois.
Plus de 100 000 personnes. C'est une des grandes banlieues qui va bientôt avoir plus de transports en commun d'ailleurs aussi. Mais je sais qu'il y a aussi... J'ai des amis qui habitent à Terrebonne, des gens qui jouent au hockey avec moi. D'ailleurs, je les salue, mes amis de hockey, ce soir, qui pourraient regarder. Mais en effet, c'est qui grandit et bientôt, Terrebonne va être trop grande pour juste une circonscription. Donc, elle va être divisée éventuellement. J'ai bien hâte de voir ça. Mais parlant de ça, on est toujours à 5 boîtes à Terrebonne. Mm-hmm. Donc, peut-être que... Je ne sais pas ce qui s'est passé. Peut-être que c'est une boîte plus compliquée. Peut-être que quelqu'un, justement, a écrit Tatiana Saint-Gagné. Tu fais comme, oh my God, what do you do with this? ça se pourrait. Est-ce que ça va être la fin du Long Ballot Committee? Parce qu'ils vont changer les règles
Ouais, ils vont changer les
pour
règles.
essayer de serrer la
probablement
vis.
faire la différence parce que maintenant, ça va être pas possible de signer les papiers de nomination pour plusieurs candidats. C'est seulement un candidat, donc ça va être difficile de trouver comme des centaines de personnes à signer, des douzaines de formulaires pour les candidats. We had a question from Kyle asking about how strict Elections Canada is about spelling the name. The name doesn't need to be spelled correctly, just needs to be obvious who you were trying to say. Now, hopefully there's not a lot of, like, there's no other candidate among the other ones with a name that starts with an A. So, last name, so no one's going to mistakenly write, Anderson instead of Auguste or something like that. And there's really not, looking at the names, there's nothing similar to Saint Clair des Gagnés, so I don't think that's going to cause a problem either.
You cannot write the party.
No.
I think if they write Tatiana Liberal, would they leave it? She's the only Tatiana, so
people are being given a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
With the names.
Yeah.
So like you really got to try hard to get it wrong.
The thing is, there's something a little sadder. That's some people they're illiterate. It's tough to them
or you're
to
dyslexic
write and read,
things like
so
that.
dyslexic or
you can ask for
difficult.
assistance.
Yes,
from the people at the desk as well.
So I know I had a student once. I remember it was a multiple choice exam, and I gave it to her, and I think she had like 3 over 50 or something ridiculously bad. That's like, even if you had to be unlucky to get such a bad. And I think, what happened? And she said, I'm going from one sheet to the other to see, okay, the answer is B. And then you go to the answer sheet where she has to write B, and she kept forgetting. I gave her a blank exam, a blank sheet with questions written on it, and she had perfect after. So it is that a fact that some people have difficulty with this, and I hope they get the resources to help them. It's not to laugh at them at all. Like, we have to help them. So the intention has to be clear.
Yeah.
So ça va être intéressant d'en reparler après l'élection pour voir si vraiment il y a eu des problèmes dans Terrebonne, mais bon, on va voir. Pour l'instant, on dirait qu'il n'y a pas de problème, c'est juste lent.
Si c'est un marge de 500 votes, ça ne va pas faire les différences. Il ne va pas faire de recomptage, tout ça.
Exact.
We have a box in University-Rosedale.
We do.
25 votes for Daniel Martin of the Liberals, 7 for Serena Purdy of the NDP, 1 for the PPC, 1 for the Conservatives. So off and running again in this one. Well, often snail pace, but kind of again what we'd expect. I mean, when you think about it too, there's 153 boxes in University-Rosedale. There's 188 in Scarborough Southwest. The first box is not necessarily representative, but it is a randomly chosen box, right? So when the randomly chosen box meets your kind of expectations, it can make you feel a little bit more comfortable that the expectations are correct, right? Like if they had chosen a box out of 153 that had the Conservatives ahead, the odds are possible, right? The Conservatives might win a poll or two. But it would be unlikely. So we're at 7 boxes in Scarborough Southwest.
Oh my God!
Close to being able to make the call.
3 boxes in University-Rosedale. It's starting.
Goodness. Now it's starting. Now it's going.
Absolutely.
All right. Now we're cooking with gas. But see, here we were talking about the NDP being in second place. They are in second place now with 3 boxes in University-Rosedale with 18%. 62 for the Liberals, 15 for the Conservatives. This is starting to look a little bit more normal than the first couple boxes we saw. And Scarborough Southwest is at 7. We got 2/3 of the vote for Dolly Begum, 12% for the Conservatives, 10 for the NDP. So far the NDP numbers are okay, right?
Yeah.
Scarborough Southwest, as I said, they had 5% last time. They're currently at 10. They have 18% University-Rosedale. They had 10% last time. So if they can maintain those numbers, that would be a good night for the NDP, even if obviously a win would be better for them. But that's not happening. I'm going to call that. Terrebonne, we still got just a 1-vote lead. Okay.
Yeah, it's the count. Well, not the count that stopped, but the box count that stopped. It's probably a tougher box, basically. I can imagine, like, it's very easy where you get, okay, Tatiana, okay, Saint Clair des Gagnés, Tatiana, then you get, what the hell is this, right? Help, boss, and then you have to just decipher. Hopefully so we were just talking about the longest ballot. Hopefully,
Well, as purveyors of live stream broadcasts, We'd like these to go faster.
Well, yeah. Not that I
so-
don't like to spend time with you, Eric,
Of
or
course,
with our
but we
viewers
already
and
spend
listeners.
a lot of time together. We do podcasts.
Yes,
every
we do.
week. And
Yeah.
there was a question from a Yukon guy, and he says, "Are all three being hand counted?" All three are being hand counted.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Federally, we do hand counts. In some of
Yep.
the provinces, they have automated tabulators, that kind of thing. But Elections Canada still does hand counting for all ballots. The difference between University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest is that you get the standard ballot, you mark a little X, there you go.
Yep.
And in Terrebonne, because of the long ballot, people have to write in the name of the candidate. So that'll just take a little bit longer to record because the ballots, I guess there wouldn't be any. The problem when it was Toronto St. Paul's, so the ballots were literally like the size of a table.
Yeah.
And so you had, like, when you think about it, you take out a
You have to
ballot.
bend. Then
Yeah.
you bend.
Take out a small ballot, you open it up. All right, one for the Conservatives. You put it away. Take another one for the Conservatives. Put it away. This one would be, all right, one. All right, let's unfold. Let's go.
Yeah.
Look down the list. It just, each ballot would take roughly like 5 to 10 times as long to count. So that's why it would take so
Yep.
long.
And also in the box, there's only 50 ballots because there's so much paper.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just, it's just hell.
Yeah. Well,
people-
they came up with a better solution, I think, based on what they could do.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see what's going to happen if that'll continue going forward.
Let's go Terrebonne.
All right. Is there anything? No.
Let's go Terrebonne. I don't see anything. I see 8 boxes in Scarborough Southwest. 8
Close,
boîtes et
getting
libéraux.
close to a call.
So getting close, 68% almost, 67.7. And what's happening in Rosedale? 4 boxes in University-Rosedale. Liberals ahead. In the 60s, something that we expected. So for those who wonder, Éric and I, sometimes we do these little games of forced predictions.
Oh, yeah.
We do
What were
over-unders.
over-unders?
It was in the 60s for the Liberals in both Toronto ridings, wasn't it? I don't remember, but I didn't write it down.
No, we should have done that.
But it wasn't I think low to mid 60s in both. The NDP, I think, I remember the NDP. I said 10% in University-Rosedale. I think you took the under, and I took the over for some reason. And in Scarborough
you'll be
Southwest, you said 4% for the NDP. And so right now you look like you don't know what you're talking about.
Like, you're a fool. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this count continues. And as we said, we don't know where the boxes come in, so it could be from anywhere. I don't know what was going on in those first 5 boxes. Those folks wanted to get out of there fast, but I do believe that because of the long ballot, I think that they did in Battle River that some of the boxes could start counting a little bit earlier. So that could be it. Why some of them would get called. Okay, I've been told in the chat we now have 10 boxes in Scarborough Southwest.
Is that it? 69%?
Say the line.
I think, yeah. J'en ai vu assez. Les libéraux gagnent Scarborough Southwest. Big surprise. No, it wasn't a big surprise. But
Here's
yes,
the thing coming down with the
There
big
you go.
thing. Bum, bum, bum. Scarborough Southwest projected to go to the Liberals. The Liberals have
That's
gotten their 172nd seat. They are now
That's right.
in a majority government. The decision desk from the Numbers and the Shift podcast can now call it that the Mark Carney Liberals will have gotten a majority government on April 13th, 2026, nearly a year after the last election.
That's right.
No surprise here, as we said. Scarborough Southwest has, with the exception of 2011, has been Liberal since 1988.
Wow.
When the
since
NDP
Mulroney. Wow.
had the orange wave, and they won it in 2011. So this was always going to be a safe Liberal riding. Bill Blair won it by huge margins in every election, usually by 30 points, 30 points or more. And he won it by 30 points, 31 points in the last election. So Dolly Begum at 69%, which is actually a huge result if they can hold that number. Because the party hasn't gotten that high for a very long time. And we can see that the Conservative vote has really so far dropped. They're down to just 12%. They're at 31 last time. So if they end up in the teens, not great. So we'll see what's going to happen there. But Scarborough Southwest can now be called. How do you feel about this, sir?
Hang on here because I don't want to lose my train of thought. People that watch us on a regular basis know that sometimes I like to quiz you on Canadian history, on past premiers. We had a quiz that you surprisingly did very well. It was people from the 1800s.
It's never surprising.
You said,
What are you talking about?
Well, it was hard, and you pulled it off.
But didn't I get Wilfrid Laurier wrong or something?
Yeah, you did, but the clues were strange, and it was that was on purpose. That's right. You just said that Scarborough Southwest has been liberal with one exception, since 1988. 1988 obviously was Brian Mulroney who won that election. It was not a close election; it was a closer election than 84. Would you remember who was the Liberal MP in 1988? I'm kidding. No, he's not.
Do you know it?
Of course not. I can tell you that it's.
Oh wait. Is it? It wasn't. I know.
There's
John
no.
McKay
There's no way you know this.
It's not John.
We're
McKay.
not doing any. I'm sorry.
It's not John McKay.
No, it's not.
Okay, because he was a long-time Liberal MP from Scarborough, but I can't recall which Scarborough
Monsieur
he was.
Wappel barely won third. You know, Monsieur Tom Wappel.
Yes, he's actually kind of well known because in the 1990, I believe, Liberal leadership race, he was a candidate, and his platform was a pro-life, anti-choice position, and as a Liberal candidate, and that was he was like and he was able to sign up lots of people, and there was a lot of discussion about it at the time. So not just some rando name, actually a name that is actually pretty good. You need to come up with some little quizzes for the other ones when we call them.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Put you to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. By the way, I'm preparing a quiz for this week's episode on Thursday, and some of the questions that I will use for that quiz come from our listeners that I met at the convention. So I'll more on that later, but expect a trivia quiz on a Thursday.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay.
Do we have anything new here? All right, let me look.
Nope. We still got 5
University.
in Terrebonne.
6 boxes in University-Rosedale, 62% for the Liberal candidate, Miss Martin. Oh, is it Dr. Martin? Well, yes, Danielle Martin. Yeah, she would be a doctor, yes. And Terrebonne has completely stopped.
Yeah, but someone said there's new ones. Come on, refresh.
Let's go.
A little refresh. Refresh.
Oh, the Bloc Québécois is well ahead. More than one vote. Yes.
So we got 2 boxes there. Bon, c'est 400 votes pour le Bloc Québécois, 51%. C'est 43% pour les libéraux. C'est vraiment polarisé entre les deux. Hein?
C'est une polarisation et on s'attendait à ça. Évidemment, je veux dire, j'ai de la misère à croire que les conservateurs vont vraiment avoir 3% du vote dans Terrebonne. Ce serait très bas. Mais on est rendu à quoi? C'est 7 boîtes jusqu'à maintenant? Ouais, 7 boîtes de scrutin. Madame Sainte-Claire-Desgagnés du Bloc québécois prend l'avance. C'est quoi, une avance de 61 votes? Donc, évidemment, c'est encore très serré. C'est pas terminé. Mais c'est la première fois qu'elle a une avance de plus d'un vote pour le Bloc québécois. Alors, donc, le Bloc québécois est bien parti dans Terrebonne après 7 boîtes de scrutin. On ne fera pas de call à 10 boîtes ici.
Le comté a des sections qui sont plus libérales, des sections qui sont plus bloquistes. Encore là, on ne sait pas si c'est comme quel secteur de Terrebonne qu'on a eu des votes. Mais intéressant de voir. Je pense que le soirée électorale l'an passé, il y avait des moments où c'était le Bloc en avance à Terrebonne.
Je pense que absolument.
Les libéraux, il a eu des bons résultats dans les boîtes de vote par anticipation. Et donc, quand la nuit était plus tard dans la nuit, les libéraux ont commencé à gagner des sièges en Canada Atlantique et aussi, je pense, à Terrebonne. Je me souviens que j'étais comme de regarder si c'était possible de gagner une majorité.
Oui, c'est ça, exact. On cherchait vraiment, oh mon Dieu, est-ce qu'ils vont réussir à avoir 3-4 autres sièges? Et on était rendu à regarder les banlieues de Montréal pour ça. Donc ça, c'est un petit peu étrange. Mais là, je regarde justement je suis sur l'excellent site Élection à classe pour regarder. La ville de Terrebonne était plutôt bleue. Mais le comté contient aussi des sections qui sont plus proches de Bois-des-Filions. Ça, c'est plus rouge. Je vois aussi une partie... c'est pas tout à fait encore à Charlemagne, mais c'est près de Charlemagne. C'est plus divisé. Et un peu plus au nord, ça serait quelle communauté? C'est un peu plus au nord ici. Laisse-moi regarder. C'est pas Mascouche? C'est-tu Mascouche?
Non, Mascouche, c'est un autre comté, je pense.
C'est un autre comté. Ah, ben c'est Mascouche-Ouest, Mascouche Heights. Ouais, c'est ça, il y a plusieurs petites communautés séparées le long des routes là-bas. Mais non, en effet, mais c'était un comté qui était bien divisé. Évidemment, ça s'est terminé par un vote, c'était bien divisé. Donc voilà, peut-être cette boîte-là était un peu plus longue à compter. J'ai hâte de voir les autres. Mais donc voilà.
Et juste
qu'on a
comme rappel, ce soir, je bois Mélile. Ce n'est pas une publicité. C'est juste...
Bière de Terrebonne.
Ouais, ça vient de Terrebonne.
On est
I'm
rendu
drinking
à
the water
11.
of Terrebonne right now.
Good. We're at 11 boxes in Scarborough Southwest, and our call still holds.
Yes,
so we're okay.
thank goodness. Yes. We look like fools. And in University-Rosedale, we got 8 boxes now. 60% for Daniel Martin still, 17 for Don Hodgson of the Conservatives, and 15.5 for Serena Purdy of the NDP. It's kind of interesting, actually. I'm just looking at some of these results. The NDP, we've said, does badly in by-elections. They're not doing so badly right now. You got the Greens, who tend to also not to do great in these. Got 3% in University-Rosedale, and they're at 3% in Scarborough Southwest. So I wonder if, because of almost the inevitability,
you would think so,
of the Liberal win of Mark Carney, that some of the voters of supporters of these other parties are thinking, might as well cast a vote for someone else.
Yeah, might be. It's so easy to flip that. Those same voters could have said, "Oh, why would I waste 2 hours of my day going to?" Maybe not 2 hours, but it's possible. Again, the NDP is not supposed to be at 6% nationally, right? This was an anomaly. This was I'm not saying it was a one-off event. Maybe the NDP will need more time to recover and rebuild. But if some liberals or any observer count on the NDP staying at 6% forever, that's not happening. We discussed this. We looked at the results for the NDP, and we have to go back to the CCF in the 50s or 40s even. But the average for the NDP has been around 15, sometimes 18, sometimes 17%. So 6% is really bad. You expect the NDP to recover at some point. In a by-election, getting almost 10% in Scarborough Southwest is not good, but it's like, okay, it's maybe a little more. The rebuild can be slow. That's what I'm getting at.
On a eu une question de Polypsych. C'est quoi le site? Ça, c'est le site de Élection Canada. C'est élection.ca. Pour les résultats, vous pouvez trouver tous les résultats.
Élection plurielle, exact.
Électionplurielle.ca. We got nine boxes open in University-Rosedale. So we're very close to being able to make a call here.
I think we are, right?
We got 10 boxes just flipped.
And Terrebonne also.
All right, yes, but we've got to make the really important call. Okay. In University-Rosedale, we got 6.5% of the boxes closed. We've got 10 boxes in, 61% right now for Danielle Martin. She's got a 40-ish point lead. 42-point lead over Serena Purdy of the NDP. You can say the line again.
Nous en avons vu assez. The numbers, les chiffres déclarent le winner of the University-Rosedale by-election, Danielle Martin of the Liberals.
And now it's,
there we are.
Boom, 173.
173.
They now have a one-seat majority, and they no longer need to rely on the speaker to break ties. So these were the two results we were expecting to see in Toronto, that the Liberals would be able to win and hold University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest.
Oh.
They've had University-Rosedale with the so again, going back, they've held at least part of the riding, because as you mentioned earlier, it was split before 2015 between Trinity-Spadina and Toronto Centre. And before that, I think it was different splits too. But they've held at least part of the riding since 1993. So even in the 2011 debacle, they still had one of these kind of predecessor ridings. So no big surprise that they would hold University-Rosedale. And now they've gone 2 out of 3. They have the majority. And I guess we can just close the stream because they got the majority, so who cares anymore, right?
Okay, well, have a good night, everyone. No. While you were talking, my friend, we had more boxes. And we have a question also from Intelligence Media. We'll get to you, sir, in a second. So, Terrebonne, we are now at 10 boxes. Not ready to make a call here, however. Mais le Bloc québécois à Terrebonne a pris d'avance plus de 100 votes. Je peux compter ici, ça fait 114 plus 125 votes. C'est la plus grande avance jusqu'à maintenant pour le Bloc québécois. 51% du vote, 45% pour les libéraux. Évidemment, c'est loin d'être déterminant, mais c'est quand même intéressant. Si les chiffres étaient inversés, on dirait « Ouh, c'est intéressant pour les libéraux, ça ». Et donc, un très bon résultat. J'avoue que là, les conservateurs sont à 2%. Et je suis en train de me dire, Éric, est-ce qu'on a des électeurs conservateurs qui se sont dit, ouais, je vais pincer le nez puis je vais voter pour le Bloc pour empêcher les libéraux? C'est pas impossible. Il y avait 18% du vote. Ils sont pas supposés d'avoir 2%.
Non,
On
2%.
pensait qu'il allait descendre à peut-être 12, mais pas 2, là.
Ils ont eu le pire résultat dans les dernières élections, c'était 7,6% en 2019. Donc 2%,
2019 avec Andrew Scheer. Donc,
c'est problématique un peu.
Ouais.
Ouais. Et si on voit que c'est le Bloc qui remporte cette circonscription-là, je pense que ça va être assez facile de dire que oui, cet électorat conservateur, ils vont aller chez le Bloc. Mais même les libéraux à 45%, c'est plus haut que la dernière fois, c'était 39%.
Oui, exact, 39.
Ça indique que c'est vraiment, comme on a dit, une polarisation entre les deux partis. Et, can you hear it? Wait.
Oh, allô Marsouis!
There was a request earlier whether we'd see Marsouis. No, the door's closed.
Yeah, the door's closed for me too.
Yeah, so no, there will be no cat unless she breaks down the door, which is not an impossibility. She is quite determined.
Éric, nous avons eu une question d'un auditeur, Intelligence Média 1. Merveilleux podcast, gentlemen. What was your favorite election night coverage? How would you spend your first day if you ever become PM of Canada? Éric, what was your favorite election night coverage?
Well, I'm just going to say which ones that I was part of, because that's...
Of course. Well, of course.
What was the most fun? I really loved doing the 2022 Ontario provincial election.
Oh, yeah?
Because that was the first one, and I was on the board, and I was playing with the map and stuff. And I did it with the CPAC in last year, and that was a lot of fun, too. The election night itself was extremely dull in Ontario 2022, but it was fun to be on the board. So that was a lot of fun.
Je dirais que... Oh, mon Dieu. Ma soirée, je dirais pas que le coverage, je vais répondre en anglais. My favorite election night coverage was the one that Jason Kenney won in Alberta. And I'll say why. Not because the coverage was great. Well, I'm sure it was excellent. But it was that night. I was in Toronto because the next morning I was interviewing for a media to enter English media. I wasn't affiliated with any English media back then, and it was the next morning, and my call in Alberta was perfect. So I walked in the next morning, and it was like, hey, that's pretty interesting. I think I had 61 seats for Jason Kenney, and he had 63. So there would always have a little place in my heart. I entered English media because of that election. So, well, not because of that election, but that election, triggered it. So.
Another good one was 2015, because I was in Toronto to do for the election night for radio, and it was happening at the exact same time as the Blue Jays had their run.
Oh,
and you remember the night
true.
when it was
wow,
the guy with the home run there,
the bat flip.
Yes,
Batista.
Yeah, Batista. Yeah, And I just remember being in my hotel room and just seeing streams of people just like celebrating and walking out. Like that was a lot of fun.
On a des résultats dans Terrebonne. Est-ce qu'on regarde ça?
Mais oui.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Intelligence Média. OK, ça se resserre un peu. Donc, nous avons maintenant 15 boîtes dans Terrebonne. Ça avance, 15 boîtes sur 211. Et 2215 votes pour le Bloc québécois et Nathalie Saint-Clair-Desgagnés. 2147 votes pour les libéraux pour Mme Tatiana Auguste. Et donc, nous avons 48,9 à 47,4. Ça s'est resserré, mais toujours une avance du Bloc québécois. Toujours les conservateurs à 2%.
Ouais.
Éric, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ici? Ils ne se sont pas présentés ou ils aident le Bloc présent? En fait, présentement, on dirait qu'ils aident les deux.
Oui, les deux.
Mais
parce qu'il n'y avait pas beaucoup de votes ailleurs. Le NPD était à 3% la dernière fois.
Quel va être le spin des conservateurs? Je veux dire, c'est facile de ne pas trop s'en faire avec une élection partielle. Si je suis un conservateur et je regarde ça, je m'en fous un peu. Mais de passer de 18% à 2%, ça fait mal. Ça fait mal.
Oui, ça fait mal. Et ici, like if we're looking at the other ones too, Conservatives at 18% in Scarborough Southwest, which is down from 31, and they're at 11 in University-Rosedale, which is down from 23.5.
That's bad.
Yeah. If they get another floor crosser this week after these results, be a rough week for Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah, I mean, earlier you asked what is a good night for the Conservatives? What is a bad night? I mean, if bad night for the Conservatives, if
starting to
their
look like
result
this.
goes down everywhere,
Yeah.
that would be a bad night, even though they were not expected to win.
No, but like I mean, in 2011 in Scarborough, they had 32% of the vote. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that was an election where they formed a majority government. So like if the Conservatives are competitive, they should be able to get 30% Scarborough, and if it's like a split vote, they can be in contention.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you very much, GM. That's very nice. Thank you.
Oh wow, merci.
Appreciate
Merci beaucoup.
We're making a living here. Yeah, I think this like that's like a bit of an underrated story tonight, potentially, right? Because we've been talking a lot about whether the Liberals get the majority, what it means for the Bloc. What does this mean for the Conservatives? They usually get their vote out when it comes to by-elections.
Yeah.
And
yes.
here, their voters are not motivated to come out. To an extent that is like not just back to like 2021, 2019. And some of these in the two other ridings, and especially in Terrebonne, this is like bad. Like
It's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, they got like at this stage, I mean, if we're already at 20 boxes, 10% of the vote in Terrebonne, and they're at 3%.
Yeah. Not even 3%.
That vote decided. It's a little bit like, comme on a vu à Arthabasca, c'était un course entre le Parti québécois et le Parti conservateur.
Exact.
Et c'était presque tout l'électorat qui a voté pour ces deux partis-là. When things are polarized between two parties,
it sucks.
like they're not
everything
polarized
up,
in the other races, so people maybe feel free to not vote or vote in different places. But in Terrebonne, it's so polarized that like it's just these two parties. It's like the Conservatives are experiencing what the NDP did in the last election.
Yeah. Donc, revenons à Terrebonne un instant, parce qu'on a eu des nouvelles boîtes. On est rendu à 20 boîtes présentement, donc presque 10% des boîtes qui ont été dépouillées. Un 300 votes d'avance pour la candidate du Bloc québécois. Ça commence à être de plus en plus clair. Je ne dis pas qu'elle va gagner, parce qu'évidemment, c'est beaucoup trop tôt. Mais si tu es un partisan du Bloc, si tu es Yves-François Blanchet, ce soir, tu regardes ces chiffres-là, tu as de raison de l'optimisme. Clairement, le vote bloquiste est sorti. Là, tu l'as mentionné tantôt, Éric, nous ne savons pas encore si c'est le vote par anticipation. Je regarde présentement, il y a environ 6600 votes qui ont été comptés. C'est même pas le tiers du vote par anticipation. Il y a eu plus de 18 000 votes par anticipation qui ont été compilés pendant les 3-4 journées avant le jour du vote. Et donc, on est loin d'un résultat, mais c'est quand même encourageant pour le Bloc québécois. Et comme on l'a dit en anglais, on dirait vraiment que le vote conservateur s'est effondré. Peut-être que plusieurs conservateurs sont juste restés à la maison et d'autres peut-être se départagent entre les libéraux et le Bloc et un peu plus du côté du Bloc que du côté des libéraux, ce qui n'est pas vraiment une surprise. Et alors, je pense qu'on a une autre boîte, 23 boîtes, mon Dieu, ça va, là, ça commence à aller vite. Là. 23 boîtes dans Terrebonne. L'avance est un peu réduite. 49,7 pour le Bloc québécois, 46, donc 3,5 points. Je pense que ça va durer beaucoup cette soirée-là. On est loin d'être terminé. Mais un bon départ pour le Bloc québécois, ça c'est certain.
We got a question from Commander Brantford. Whether we can know where the polls are in the riding, no. That's one of the really unfortunate things from Elections Canada, if I can say. Very few, PI does, I'm not sure who else does, maybe Alberta, but very few of the jurisdictions on election night release where the vote is actually coming from. It would be nice, especially on by-election nights. Like on general election nights, I get it.
Yeah.
You got 343 ridings, doesn't really matter that much where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Because you can see like the broader trends. But here, come on, give us something. Give us something to chew on a little bit. Like, you know how you get people engaged in politics, making politics interesting and fun. That's what we try to do. And it would be nice if Elections Canada would help us out and also update your website for.
But what would you like to see? You'd like to see the writing just with little dots says this box was here, this box was here.
That's amazing. A map? Can you imagine a map? That would be great. But you could just have it be like poll 1, poll 2, like whatever, as long as they were the same as the ones from last time. Which I know it can be a little bit of a complication, but anyway.
They're counting handwritten ballots right now. I will give him a pass for Terrebonne. But it would be great if they did. But people complain all the time about the cost of by-elections. I mean, You would think that it would not be that costly, but what you're saying needs more resources that I don't think they have. But yeah,
No, I guess not. Okay,
but it would be cool. Yeah.
We got that question from earlier. What would we do in the first day as Prime Minister?
Oh,
Tell Elections Canada to give us more data on elections.
oui, c'est
that
vrai.
it'll be more fun.
We
That would
forgot.
be it. Then we'd resign. That would be it.
My
for us.
answer to that question, by the way, is I'll never be prime minister. I'm way too lazy.
Well, not with that attitude.
Well, not lazy. The thing is, I work really hard, but I cannot fathom doing stuff that I don't like. When stuff pisses me off, I just push it aside. I procrastinate a lot, and so there's no way I could be prime minister, and people would never vote for me anyway. So, like, come on,
Well,
why would they? Imagine you, yeah. Okay.
Would you like to continue? Okay. Okay, wait. We had 25. So I think we have a few more boxes.
Oui, absolument.
Block's now under 50.
Hey, it's gonna be tight.
It's 300 votes now. Someone's asking us to talk twice as fast because they're used to listening to us at that rate.
En direct, is
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Try to go a little bit faster.
That's
if you
I have
pause it for a while, and then you can probably start it at a fast speed to catch up.
Okay, I'll say this because that's very interesting. People who listen to podcasts at twice the rate, I mean, great for you. That's amazing. But that's really I think I tried, but by accident I pushed the button. I think it was like 1.25. Yeah, I was like, man, they are hyped today. Did they have more caffeine or something? Twice the rate. That's sicko stuff. But I love you. Thank you for listening. But just because of that, I think I'm gonna try tomorrow to see if I can follow. But my attention span
tough.
is it's tough.
All right,
So,
let's reset the table here. So
yes, absolutely.
the numbers podcast, Les Chiffres, the Balado Les Chiffres has already called University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest, which means Mark Carney, according to the numbers podcast, has a majority government. So this has already happened if you missed it. In University-Rosedale, Daniel Martin is leading with 65% of the vote. Serena Purdy of the NDP is in second with 18%, with a decent margin on third. Which is Don Hodgson of the Conservatives with 12%. So a little bit of an interesting result. The Liberals could be happy with being up a couple points, or actually just 1 point. But the NDP finishing second in this riding.
Yep.
Tiny little moral victory for the party with 6 MPs. In Scarborough Southwest, we also called that one. Dolly Begum is sitting at 66.5%, which is quite a good result. That's up 5 points from the last election. Conservatives are in second with 19%, which is down from 31, so that's a bit of a drop. And the NDP is at 7. They were at 5 last time, so no real change. Yeah. And Terrebonne, this is the one we're all watching. It's right now a 4-point lead or a 300 vote lead for Nathalie Saint-Clair-Desgagnés of the Bloc Québécois. And there, we still got a lot of polls to count, and we're going to have to wait for all of them.
25 boîtes ouvertes à Terrebonne sur 211, donc près de 12%. Des boîtes qui étaient ouvertes à Terrebonne. Je remarque aussi que on a mentionné les conservateurs qui se sont effondrés dans Terrebonne. Les autres partis n'ont rien. Je veux dire, le Parti vert a 37 votes, 0,5% du vote. Le NPD qui avait eu, je pense que c'était presque 3% du vote. Évidemment, c'est très peu, mais même pas 1% pour le NPD en Terrebonne. Dans Terrebonne, où le NPD a déjà gagné en 2011 et avait eu un score quand même assez raisonnable en 2015 avant de perdre aux libéraux. Donc, une vraie polarisation qui, pour l'instant, favorise le Bloc québécois dans Terrebonne. Évidemment, on a calé les deux élections à Toronto. Nous ne pouvons pas le faire dans Terrebonne. Terrebonne is way too close for a call right now. I think there's another box with 28 bucks now à Terrebonne. 46% donc un peu moins de 3 points qui séparent les deux candidats. Le Bloc québécois est toujours en avance.
Le marge entre les deux partis est plus large que le vote pour le Parti conservateur en ce moment.
Oh my God.
That is actually, right now, this is the biggest surprise for me. That the conservative vote would drop so much in Terrebonne. They had 18% last time, and now they're at 2.8.
Exact. Non, mais en fait, les conservateurs perdent des points partout. Et pas juste 2 ou 3 points jusqu'à maintenant. Les Conservatives are down everywhere right now. Again, they were not supposed to win any of these, but usually it's like, this is like a practice run for your general election or future by-elections. You get your machine going. We'll see if it holds until later tonight, but right now, are we talking about a double-digit drop everywhere? Yes, we are.
Yeah, well, right now in University-Rosedale, the Conservatives are down about 12 points.
Yeah.
In Scarborough Southwest, they are down about
12 points.
12 points.
Yep.
And in Terrebonne, they're down about 15 points.
Yeah.
That's not... So, like, I mean, if anybody's looking at the polls right now and being like, I bet you the Conservatives are a lot closer than some of these numbers have been showing, these by-elections are not arguing for that. They are arguing for the Liberals more or less. I mean, in University-Rosedale, they're right on where they were last time. They're up about 6 points in Scarborough Southwest, and they're up actually quite a bit in Terrebonne, but this is because it's become so polarized. Liberals are up about 7 points in Terrebonne, and the Bloc is up about 11, or 10, 11.
Wow.
So you're just seeing le vote conservateur, le petit vote des néo-démocrates, c'est comme divisé un peu entre les deux, les libéraux et le Bloc, avec le Bloc qui ont l'avantage un peu.
Do you think this is like motivation and enthusiasm, or I
think these are savvy voters that knew this was a polarized race and had to make a choice between the two.
Yeah.
I mean, they were famously the riding that was decided by one vote.
This is the most talked about riding in the past 12 months.
Like in Terrebonne, every vote literally made the difference.
Yeah.
Every single one. If one person had not voted,
well,
it could have made the difference in that riding, like in the last election. So, and the people in Terrebonne have been told this for the last year and a half. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that they would know that they have to vote, and I'm not surprised that they would know that this is a race between the Liberals and the Bloc, and make a choice there. And I was just about to say, is it surprising in retrospect that the 18% of the Conservative vote would not hold, and that the Bloc would take advantage of it?
No, it's not surprising. The amplitude of it is surprising. You and I think we put our over-under for the Conservatives at 12 or 13, so they would lose a third of their vote. They wouldn't lose like 5/6 of their votes. But the fact that, I mean, the Conservatives, if you vote Conservative and you live in Terrebonne, you don't like the Liberals, basically. Especially you're in the 18% of those. There are, of course, moderate Conservatives in Quebec. I'm not saying anything, but the Poilievre Conservatives and moderate Conservatives in Quebec, it's not the same. Right now, I see maybe some of them are moderate Conservatives and don't like Poilievre and have looked at the numbers and says the best option right now, even though I'm not, these voters would say maybe I'm not in favor of Quebec sovereignty. This is not on the ballot right now. This is in the Quebec interest and blocking the Liberals from having a safe cushion. So it's not a surprise, but the amplitude is a surprise.
And also, I mean, in Terrebonne, the debate and the polarization was pretty clear. But the fact that we're also seeing this happen in Scarborough Southwest and in University-Rosedale, where that is not at issue, very few people in these ridings would expect that the Conservatives would win, because they've never won these since the 1980s at least. So that is a bit of a problem. These voters either felt they didn't need to vote because it didn't matter, or they didn't want to vote. And that is a bigger problem for Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives. So a little bit of an extra little storyline, because the Liberals have their majority.
Yes, they do.
Which means that if they want, they can stay in office until 2029, which means that the Conservatives have 3.5 years.
Yes, they do.
With Pierre Poilievre as the opposition leader. Are they going to be comfortable with that for the next 3.5 years? Maybe they will be. The members seem to have been in Calgary.
The members are. Well, the members who showed up.
The members who went to Calgary were fine with it. But I wonder if, especially if we see floor crossers this week. Can you imagine how bad of a week this could turn out to be for Pierre Poilievre? C'est quoi l'histoire à Terrebonne si les libéraux ils perdent ce comté-là avec 46% du vote?
Yeah.
C'est
Absolument.
un peu compliqué, là. C'est pas clair.
Ben, c'est un peu compliqué, mais je pense qu'on parle de dynamique locale ici, parce que 46%, c'est énorme dans Terrebonne. C'est plus haut que la moyenne québécoise. Ben, en fait,
Ouais.
c'est près de la moyenne québécoise, les sondages pour les libéraux. On a vu des 44-45 depuis plusieurs, j'allais dire semaines, mais plusieurs mois en réalité. Mais, oh, une nouvelle, oh mon Dieu, Éric, nouvelle boîte dans Terrebonne. So the margin is now 9 votes.
Oh my God. Seriously?
Yeah. So the Bloc Québécois
Wait,
is now
it's not
leading by
refreshing.
9 votes.
Refresh faster. Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
35 boxes. Yeah, we're going to be here a while. Sit back. I think
Oh my
you're going to
goodness.
have to open that second beer.
There's been 10,000 votes counted,
Yeah,
and it's
and
still
there's-
not like, how is this? This is like
That's
quintessential
incredible.
toss-up.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
that's incredible.
Yeah, this is nuts.
I was kind of drifting. Okay, so 300 votes advantage for the Bloc Québécois. Maybe next box is going to be 400 and then 450, and then we're going to slowly drift to a clear, tight but clear win for the Bloc
Yeah,
Québécois.
2-3
Nope.
points.
Hang on, it's not done yet. So that was a good box for the Liberals. It was a really good box for the Liberals. She was trading by 300. She's trading by 9 now.
Yeah, she won that box by.
If we had that map, as you know what, I'm on
Yes.
board now for that map. Yeah,
Thank
let's,
you.
Let's
Everybody,
lobby.
write your elections officials and your MP. Tell them that we
Absolument.
need this.
Well, my MP, yeah, not gonna be there for long. For those who don't know, I live in Rosemont, la petite patrie in Montreal. My MP is Monsieur Boulris, whom I salute. Bonjour, Monsieur Boulris. But rumors swirling, and more than rumors swirling, that he has only a few weeks to go. But let's focus on the task here.
Well,
So,
we got a good
9
question
vote
here.
difference.
From World War I nurse. Respect your service.
All right, merci beaucoup.
It asked what was the night like last, and I'm trying to remember because you were covering probably the Quebec ridings more closely. Do you remember how the night went in Terrebonne? Like, did it only flip at the end? I think it did.
Yeah, I do not. I think the night ended with the Liberals leading by 25, and then they basically said, okay, it's 2 a.m. We have to go home. We have still more votes to be counted because if you remember there were a lot of mail-in votes, right?
Yes.
And the turnout, the advance turnout was also high. So I don't exactly remember. I guess I should. I apologize. But I think it was a 25 vote lead. And then in the following days, you remember there were a few ridings that flipped in the following days. I think there was one in Newfoundland. There was one in the GTA as well. One of the Burlingtons, not Burlingtons.
Yeah. Milton.
Yeah, exactly. That one.
Milton East,
one of-
Burlington South, whatever it was. Something
Yeah.
like that.
So yeah, it's I mean we use the term flip. It flips on the map.
Yes.
But the concept is like it didn't flip.
It's like Schrodinger's cat. The cat is
Yeah.
either alive or dead in there,
Yeah,
but
that's
we
right.
just don't know.
It doesn't flip because until the votes are all counted. But you know what I mean, though. So yeah, and you know what? It's also possible. Let's go for the worst case scenario for us. It's possible that we go to bed tonight, and we don't know.
Yes, Milton East, Halton Hills South. That's correct. That
That's
was
right.
the name of it.
It was
Thank you.
12 votes, I think, the difference.
Yeah,
Am I wrong
yeah.
about
It's
that?
possible that if this is close enough, that it could take a few more days. Oh, now she's ahead again. Tatiana Auguste is ahead.
The Liberals are back ahead in Terrebonne.
Ouais.
Oh, that was another good
124
box.
votes pour Tatiana Auguste, 48%. Et pour Nathalie Sinclair-Degagné, c'est 5062 votes. Donc, c'est une avance de 62 votes pour Tatiana Auguste. Ça swingait fort, là. C'était
swingait
300,
fort, ouais.
300 votes pour Nathalie Sinclair-Degagné. Maintenant, c'est 60 votes pour Tatiana Auguste. Je pense que ça va être comme ça pour le reste de la soirée. J'avais eu besoin de mon 50 bières de Mille-Îles.
Ben, en fait, moi, j'ai besoin...
Microbrasserie Mille-Îles. Ce n'est pas un partenaire de ce podcast, mais
Non,
qui sait dans l'avenir.
on sait jamais. Éric, je vais te demander, I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit because I want to refresh my drink and it's not in the room here. So, people, I'll be right back. Éric, you take it away for just 1 minute, okay?
All right. Now that Philippe's gone, I can tell you all the dirt on him. He's great. Okay, so why don't we just reset things because it is now 10 o'clock or it's about to be 10 o'clock. So we got 26% of the votes or the polls counted in University-Rosedale. Daniel Martin is projected by us, and I'm sure by other places, to be leading with 64% and 20% for Serena Purdy, which represents a pretty good gain for the NDP compared to the last election. Don Hodgson of the Conservatives down to 12%. The Conservatives at 31 or 24%, I should say, in University-Rosedale last time. Conservative vote is cut in half. You can see the turnout in University-Rosedale is quite low right now. It's at 6%. So based on the current pace of the count, they're probably on track for somewhere around 2025, which isn't great for a by-election. But in Toronto, when you know what the result of a election is going to be, turnout tends to not be great. Turnout is similar in Scarborough Southwest. We're currently at 5% with 24% of the polls reporting. 67% for Dolly Begum. She has previously been the Ontario NDP MPP for Scarborough Southwest. She has also been projected to win by our podcast with 67%. The Conservative Diana Filipova is at 19%. This is down from 31% for the Conservatives last time. The NDP is up a little bit. They're at 7.5%, but that is a win for Dolly Begum of the Liberals. That is the majority right there, and it's a majority plus one, which is what they need to avoid having the Speaker break ties in the House of Commons. Oh. Let's just have her come on the podcast. I can't remember which one that is. Is that Shiva or Vishnu?
She wants to go now. She's not happy. So
she's following the numbers.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. That's the only cat I think you're going to see because I got a door closed. All right. And in Terrebonne, we have right now 48% for Tatiana Auguste, 47% for Nathalie Saint-Claude de Grenier. We're at 19% of the polls reporting in Terrebonne, and turnout is right now at 12%. So we are on track for more than 50% turnout in Terrebonne, which is good for them, good for the voters.
For a by-election, that's really good.
That's really good. In the last election, it was somewhere like 65, 67, so I don't think they're going to beat the general election turnout. But I was going over the turnout in University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest. It's looking like it'll be more in the 20 to 25%. But
45. Oh mon Dieu, j'ai manqué des boîtes dans Terrebonne, mais le résultat n'est pas plus serré. 45 boîtes maintenant, donc 21% des boîtes ouvertes et 103 votes de différence. Incroyable. Incroyable. Je pense que c'est confirmé. Avec 20% des boîtes, on peut dire que c'est confirmé que Terrebonne, c'est the ultimate toss-up. Vraiment.
It is.
And dans ma tête,
I still can't get over the fact 48% for the Liberals, 47% for the Bloc.
Yeah,
There's virtually no vote for anybody else. The Conservatives at 18% of the vote, they're at 3.
Yeah, they're at 3.
3% for like a major party in a riding, in a suburban riding.
Yeah.
And if you look around like the island of Montreal in the last election, the Conservatives didn't get close to winning any of them, but they were good in this. They were okay in the suburbs. They were 15 to 20%. Like this is that's it. Like again, I keep saying it. This is a thing that I think the Conservatives are going to have some questions that they're going to have to answer tomorrow.
There will be storylines from this election. Obviously, we always focus on the winners, and we're not overstating this. Like we're not not happy the Conservatives are down, but. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Scarborough Southwest, they are at 19. They were at 31, so that's 12 points. They're at 12 in Rosedale. What did they have in Rosedale? 23?
23 and a half.
23 and a half. Okay, so they're down 10 points or 11 points. So, yeah, you're down double digits everywhere. Usually that doesn't happen. How do you let the NDP outperform? 7% for the NDP in Scarborough Southwest. You had put the line at 4.
Yeah.
So anyway, wow. Tatiana Auguste. Oh, another box. We're at 50 boxes now. Okay, it has picked up. Madame Auguste is leading by 116 votes. Nothing comfortable here.
On a vu une question. Pensez-vous que les conservateurs ont voté en nombre comparable à l'élection générale? C'est possible que les conservateurs ont resté à la maison. On voit que le taux de participation va être assez respectable.
Oui, exact.
Mais si on est à 60%, un taux de participation à 60%, je pense que c'est comme juste... Avec les chiffres, ça va être impossible de dire que pour les conservateurs, c'est pas seulement des gens qui ont resté à la maison.
Mais l'affaire, c'est que justement sur ce point, et je vais le dire dans les deux langues parce que je pense que c'est important. If you're saying that, oh, the conservatives didn't show up, yeah, but they usually do.
Yeah. Yeah.
In by-elections, conservatives usually do, even if they're projected to lose. And now they didn't. Um, Like okay, so you mentioned I was at the conservative convention in Calgary. Spirits were high. Many said, okay, well, it's too bad that we lost the election that we were supposed to win. 1 year ago, we were leading. There was that feeling, but Poilievre gave a really good speech. The delegates there were pumped up at the end, and there was a feeling like, okay, we will build again, we will come back. And then they spent 2 months trailing in the polls by wider and wider margins. Now it looks like the polls are tightening a little bit. It could be fluctuation, and then you have these by-elections, and conservatives don't show up. That's strange. It will be part of the storylines tomorrow.
It's now 1 point. Un point entre les libéraux et le Bloc québécois à
Ouf,
Terrebonne.
200, plus de 200 votes maintenant.
In Scarborough Southwest, we're at 32%.
It's very stable, isn't it? The
it's not
Toronto
really moving.
votes is not moving. So every box is roughly proportional to the next. So c'est étrange.
Yeah, but if I remember the map in Scarborough Southwest, the Liberals won all of them. It wasn't like there was little pockets that were all that. University-Rosedale, I think in the Rosedale area, which I think is supposed to be like a bit more of a Tony area, the Conservatives won a couple polls, I believe, in the last election.
Let me check.
So maybe there could be a little bit of differentiation there, but yeah, Terrebonne is now it's
More boxes?
it's a point and a half or 1.8 points, nearly 2 points.
Ouh. Presque 300 votes de différence pour libéral.
OK. Mais il y avait une avance de 300 votes pour Nathalie Sinclair de Grenier il y a 15 minutes. Ça pourrait changer et je crois que ça va changer encore.
University-Rosedale, yes, the Conservatives won 6 boxes.
Okay.
I do not know the streets, though, I'm sorry. But yeah, they won 6 boxes out of 200. So it wasn't that much, but they did win a few. In Scarborough Southwest, they won 3 and tied in 1. So
they did win 3. It wasn't a sweep.
Nope. Three boxes there. Electionatlas.ca, great website, by the way. Our friend JP.
I'm probably on it every single day. Yes, for people saying like, I poured this at 8:30 there. Give me a break, guys. Come on. Okay. I'm told that Rosedale is probably too posh to be called Tony. I don't know what these terms mean, people.
What?
All right. So we got a 2-point lead in Terrebonne for the Liberals. I think when you're talking about these kinds of votes and the vote count keeps growing, it's probably better to talk a bit more of the percentage margin, because it's a good way to kind of keep track of it.
Je vois que les conservateurs sont à 3,3%. Ils étaient à moins de 2% tantôt, donc ça remonte doucement. C'est encore très loin du compte. Je ne pense pas que... I don't think the few next boxes will show a conservative surge, mais quand même, les conservateurs à 3% perdent 15 points dans ce comté. Les libéraux, Madame Auguste, une avance de 2 points maintenant. Je dis ça, 2 points. Je refresh. Oui, 2 points devant. Nathalie Sinclair des gagnés du Bloc québécois, presque 300 votes de différence, 298.
Et...
Moi, j'ai pas de calculatrice. Moi.
Non, j'ai un
La vintage calculatrice.
Les libéraux et le Bloc a eu plus que 23 000 votes chacun la dernière fois. Ils sont maintenant à peu près 7 000. Mais les conservateurs, ils ont eu 11 000 votes.
Incroyable.
Ils sont maintenant à 485.
Je sais.
C'est juste incroyable de voir ça. Comme j'ai dit, pour moi, en ce moment, c'est la surprise de la nuit. Le fait que c'est assez serré entre les libéraux et le Bloc à Terrebonne, je pense pas que c'est surprenant. Il y avait des personnes qui disaient que, bon, avec toutes les ressources que les libéraux ont, l'organisation, le fait qu'il y avait les députés et les bénévoles qui étaient là, pendant la fin de semaine, quand le congrès était à Montréal. Et il y a tout ça, les vibes Je sais pas c'est
La
quoi en
vibe, oh,
français,
on peut
mais
dire
les
la vibe, on peut dire
il y
la
a des
vibe,
vibes.
absolument. Langage international.
Mais ouais, c'est un comté avec beaucoup de souverainistes et nationalistes.
Oui.
53% des gens à Terrebonne ont donné leur vote au Parti québécois dans les dernières élections, dans l'élection partielle en 2025. Ça, c'est pas surprenant de voir que c'est serré comme ça. Mais la polarisation entre les deux partis, ça, c'est incroyable de voir ça.
Très spécial, en effet. Là, je vois que l'avance de Mme Auguste vient d'augmenter encore. Elle mène par 2,1 points. On est rendu à combien de boîtes? Ça avance beaucoup plus vite. Hein? Ça a été là 65 boîtes sur 211. Donc, on est à 30%. On approche du tiers des boîtes de scrutin qui ont été dépouillées. Mme Auguste est toujours en avance. Évidemment, et là, si je peux parler un instant à propos des projections. OK? Éric et moi faisons des projections de sièges et c'est quelque chose que nous devons répéter assez régulièrement parce que, évidemment, les gens s'attendent à une certitude absolument parfaite et des chiffres parfaits. Je le répète, nous faisons des projections de sièges qui fonctionnent généralement parce que le mouvement des électeurs d'un comté à l'autre est corrélé. Et donc, il y a des corrélations entre les circonscriptions. Lorsque nous avons une élection partielle, ce sont des facteurs locaux et hyper locaux souvent qui décident de l'élection. Et donc, j'avais les libéraux qui avaient 1 point d'avance avec une marge d'erreur de 7 points, plus ou moins 7 points. Et donc, les deux partis étaient dans la même fourchette. Mais là, évidemment, si les libéraux ont 49% du vote, c'est plus que qui est inscrit sur Québec 125 ou sur 338 Canada, mais c'est une élection partielle. Donc, les projections sont faites et sont créées pour des élections générales. Il ne faut pas être trop sévère avec les élections partielles. Vous pouvez être sévère autant que vous voulez sur les élections générales. Mais les élections partielles, il faut avoir un petit peu plus de tolérance parce qu'il y a des effets locaux. Je veux dire, Éric, prochaine élection générale, les conservateurs n'auront pas 3% dans Terrebonne.
Non.
C'est anormal que les conservateurs perdent 15 points dans un comté, justement. Tu as mentionné la banlieue de Montréal. So anyway, by-elections are different animals.
Yeah, just to kind of say what you were saying, projections are kind of assuming that it's a general election because in a general election, ridings will follow the national trend or the regional trend. In by-elections, for me though, I actually think the projections for by-elections are really useful because they set a benchmark to gauge kind of what was happening in the by-election. Generally speaking, looking at the results in both University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest, I think they're going to be kind of close to both of our projections. Because the NDP has been doing a little bit better in Ontario. Not a huge amount, but they're doing a little bit better. So the fact that they are actually at 20.5% in University,
that's pretty good.
Right now, that's pretty good. But I think
that's better than my projection.
For me, I think I had them at 18, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of shows that these ridings are largely following the broader trend. But what we're seeing in Terrebonne, the fact that it's so close, is what our projection said. But the fact that it's so much higher, the support for the Bloc and the Liberals, is showing how this is polarized in this riding because of the context of the by-election.
Yeah.
And as you said, we will not see the Conservatives at 3% in Terrebonne in the next general election.
No.
So I think that's really interesting there.
You imagine, though, you Bloc Québécois, Madame Saint-Clair, you're almost at 47% of the vote and you're trailing. And I think I had a quiz after the 25 election last year. I think it was in May. That it was a quiz about the closest races, and there were some races. I think one it was New Brunswick, and it was in the GTA as well. Like a party got 48% and lost. Mm-hmm. You imagine? Heartbreak. But yeah, polarization does that, and Terrebonne right now is really polarized. The NDP 0.6%. Again, we were not expecting much from the NDP, but they're almost being beat by the Parti Vert. Parti Rhinocéros, 16 votes. Monsieur Mouter ou Moutet, bravo, 16 votes. Et je vois aussi qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup d'enthousiasme pour les indépendants.
Non, pas vraiment.
Maybe they can stop.
They won't. Right. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
It's now 2.7 points, 2.7 point de pourcentage.
Oh boy,
Bloc à Terrebonne.
Ça grandit, hein? Wow.
Yeah. Here we just got a question. Has most of the Conservative vote in Terrebonne gone to the Liberals, or is there also a sizable Conservative Bloc vote shift? Well, I mean, let's just run the numbers here very quickly. The Bloc was at 38.7. They're now at 46.3, so they're up 7.6.
Yeah.
The Liberals were at also 38.7. They're at 49, so they
11.
gained 10.3. And the Conservatives are down about 15 points. So it does seem like more of it probably went to the Liberals. The NDP is also down a couple points. The Greens are down
a little bit.
Half.
Denominator.
Yeah.
You just said 11,000 votes for the Conservatives. Was that right?
Yeah. 10,961 last time.
We are at the third of the way right now, and they have barely 500. So they will not get 2,000 votes if la tendance se maintient. So that means that they lost 9,000 votes. A chunk of these didn't show up. A chunk of these decided to go for the Liberals or the Bloc. Wow.
Yeah, we are at a third, so we can more or less just times these by 3. It won't be that perfect because the earlier boxes tend to be smaller. But if this kind of continues, if this trend continues,
si la tendance se maintient,
both the Liberals and the Bloc will likely get more votes than they did in the last election.
Yeah. Wow.
That is nuts. So it does mean that someone who either didn't vote in the last election or voted for the other parties will have to have voted for the Liberals or the Bloc. So it's not just about turnout. It's not just about get out the vote. It is going to be about actual persuasion in some of these cases.
Absolument. Ben absolument. Mais Mark Carney, c'est ce qu'il fait, n'est-ce pas? Et encore une fois, tantôt je mentionnais au Québec, il y a les Poilievre conservative, mais il y a aussi des conservateurs plus classiques, plus modérés. Est-ce que Alain Reyes était conservateur qui a claqué la porte du parti quand M. Poilievre est devenu chef? Je pense que c'est tout à fait envisageable qu'il y a certains conservateurs au Québec qui sont des conservateurs, qui sont des vrais bleus et qui regardent M. Poilievre aller et qui se disent « c'est pas vraiment mon style ». C'est peut-être, je veux dire, c'est peut-être injuste d'avancer cette analyse-là ou cette hypothèse-là dans une élection partielle, mais on voit, en passant, la même chose dans les deux comtés de Toronto où je vois encore que les chiffres ne sont pas améliorés pour les conservateurs, moins 10. Et encore une fois, c'est extrêmement stable. À 68%, on dirait que Mme Begum, on dirait, it looks like Miss Begum for the Liberals in Scarborough Southwest has been at 68, 67 all night.
We're at 48% of the boxes in Scarborough Southwest, so that's half.
Our call is pretty good. Yeah. And our lines will be pretty good, except for the NDP. Well, no, the NDP
should be pretty good.
The NDP in Rosedale is really good.
Like, I mean, 90%? I don't know why you're slagging me. They're at 7% Scarborough Southwest. Yeah, I put it at 4. All right.
Yeah, how dare you? And you took the under, though.
Yeah, I did.
It's fine.
Yeah, but okay, well, I did that because the NDP underperforms in by-elections, which they're not doing tonight, which I think will be one of the rare times that they haven't done it in the last 10 years. And also, they were really not in this race, and it's traditionally not an NDP riding. And also, the Ontario NDP MPP is running for the Liberals, so there would be lots of factors that would lead the NDP vote to drop. The fact that they're at right now 19% University-Rosedale is, I mean, for the NDP, if they hold that is actually a super promising number for them because. Actually, no, wait. I was looking at the Conservatives. Sorry, it's not bad. In the 2021 election, they had 25%. They had 22 in 2019, and they had 29 in 2015. So they're still well below sort of the world where they would win 20-25 seats. But at least they're not at 10%, which is what they were in the last election. They had 6,000 votes. They're probably going to get less raw votes because right now we're on track for turnout of around 28%, let's say. In University-Rosedale. And in Scarborough Southwest, again, we're at 12% now with half of the things counted. But most of the boxes at the end are the bigger ones, so they end up increasing the turnout quite significantly. But in Terrebonne, we're at 38%. We're already at 21% turnout. So it'll definitely be over 50. I think we can probably make that call.
Oui, 75 boîtes dans Terrebonne. Toujours l'avance pour Mme Auguste. Ça s'est resserré un petit peu depuis quelques minutes, depuis les dernières boîtes. Je vais compter ici avec mes yeux, 241 votes de différence. Donc, c'est encore très faible. C'est 2 points de pourcentage. Les conservateurs à 3%, loin derrière et derrière leur propre score. il y a un an. NPD, même pas 1%, Parti vert, même pas 1%. Donc, une course à deux polarisée dans Terrebonne, c'est ce qu'on croyait qu'elle allait arriver. Je ne pensais pas qu'on croyait que ça allait arriver à ce point-ci. Euh, on a une question. What impact will Terrebonne have on the Quebec provincial election? Well, we mentioned this on the show because it's sometimes voters are funny, right?
They're funny.
They're funny because obviously it's not the same borders, but the provincial riding of Terrebonne had a by-election in March last year. So 1 month before the federal election. 1 month before. And the Parti Québécois, Madame Genticard, la nouvelle députée du PQ, had 53% of the vote, crushing the rivals. Not even close. It was not
CAC
a close
got 29%.
by-election.
Can you imagine? They couldn't hope to get 29%.
No, they get lucky to have half of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, 53% for the Parti Québécois. And so, will this have an effect? Well, Terrebonne last year, provincially, 1 month later, they voted for Mark Carney. So there are PQ Carney voters out there. Sometimes voters are funny, but also the context. We don't diminish the context. It is there, and also about a third of PQ voters are not in favor of sovereignty, so they're more fickle voters. They're more swingy voters. So,
But for
merci pour le don. Merci pour le don.
but for the Parti Québécois, they put some effort into this riding to try to help the Bloc ahead of the election. And I mean, they share a lot of the same volunteers and that kind of stuff. So, like, you know, it is kind of like a good trial run. The fact that the Bloc loses this PQ, you know, is not going to be. I don't know. They're not going to be too happy about it, but they don't usually shed too many tears when it comes to the Bloc. But
No.
if the PQ looking at 47% for the Bloc, they might think, oh, that's good.
That's pretty good.
Because in the
good.
provincial scene, if one party can get 47%, they're going to win a riding like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's now 1.4 points.
Yeah, it got tighter here. Attention, 85 boîtes. Oh, this is picking up. It's not as slow as I thought. We've been here for 2 hours, which is not that much. But it's 40% des boîtes ont été comptées. L'écart est maintenant un peu moins de 300 votes, so it's still very close. As you said, 1.4% separating the two. Conservatives 3.3 unchanged. Yeah, we're gonna. When are we gonna call this? Like 90% of the boxes? We may have to wait all the way.
Yeah, we might. By the end, we should start trying to figure out how many votes are in each box, so we can get an idea. Well, look, just looking at it right now, I know it doesn't work this way because some of the earlier ones were small, but you're right. I'm going to use my trusty calculator.
You go ahead. There's no 1 on that calculator, so you can do
so
2 divided by 2.
Each of the boxes
there you go.
About 238 votes. So there you go.
And the Liberals are at 70% in Scarborough Southwest. When you see that number that starts with a 7, this is a number that we get for the Conservatives in rural Alberta. This is high.
Do you have really Election high. Atlas? Look up what the Liberals got in Scarborough Southwest, or at least that area, in like 97.
97.
2000.
2000 was a really good election for them, right? They had 50% of the vote. Let me check 2000. Okay. Donc, Élection Atlas.
Oh, you're welcome, Harry. We're happy to answer questions.
My page is frozen. Hang on, I'm going to refresh this. 2000. Okay, let's go here. Scarborough Southwest. The Liberals was Bill Blair. He was there in 2000?
No, that can't be.
Hang on. Is there a bug? No. Okay. Sorry. It was Tom Wappel. It was Tom Wappel. 60% of the vote in Scarborough Southwest.
Oh, okay.
And the Liberals had 50% of the vote in Ontario that year.
Yeah. Huh. I wonder if 70% is like... Liberals don't usually get 70%.
What was the highest they got? Wasn't it Nate Ernst? I can't say that name.
Nate Erskine-Smith? Yeah, I think it was him in Beaches.
It was 67. Let me check that. Oh, this is very interesting. People watch us. It was Beaches Eats York, 67.8% for Nate Erskine-Smith.
Yeah, very good. I think that was the highest. So if they get a 70, that would be
something.
That would be quite high. Okay, we got a question here from FidX.
Tightening. Still tightening.
Est-ce que la polarisation du vote en Terrebonne ne s'explique pas par le résultat de l'élection générale? Le partiel serait perçu comme un deuxième tour entre deux partis à égalité. Ah, c'est intéressant comme idée, ça.
Ben, je pense que oui. C'est juste que... merci pour la question. Je pense que oui, vous avez tout à fait raison. On dirait un deuxième tour, un runoff, ou comme en France. C'est juste que généralement, c'est pas ça qu'on voit. Le Parti conservateur va toujours sortir son vote de toute façon. Le NPD un peu plus bas, mais le NPD va pas avoir 1,5% du vote. Et donc, cette perception-là que oui, c'est un deuxième tour entre la libérale et la bloquiste, je pense que clairement, il y a eu un effet d'entraînement. Parce que généralement, dans les précédents qu'on a, ça n'arrive pas. Ouais, donc juste 1,2%, ça s'est encore resserré dans les dernières boîtes. Donc ce n'est pas fini. Il y a maintenant moins de 300 votes, en fait environ 250 votes de différence en faveur de la libérale Tatiana Auguste. 90 boîtes sur 211 qui ont été ouvertes.
We got a correction. Cape Spear they had 68% in Cape Spear.
Oh!
So that would be... I think that Erskine Smith, though, I think he won by the biggest margin.
Oh, I can pull that up right now.
Please do.
Monsieur Erskine Smith.
Hey, if he becomes Ontario Liberal leader, you're going to have to get your tongue around the name.
Erskine Smith.
Very good.
Erskine?
Erskine
Smith. Pardon, Monsieur Erskine Smith. Okay, sorry, it's late. So he won by 44 points. Did you say Cape Spear?
Yeah.
Let's go see Cape Spear.
Newfoundland, Labrador.
Yep, absolument. No, the margin was 43. What did I say earlier?
Sorry.
I can't. Anyway, it was, okay. Cape Spear. You're right. Tom Osborne. Apologies for Tom Osborne, conservative, liberal MP from Cape Spear. You had 68%. Merci pour thank you for the comment.
And also, just to continue all this, Tom Osborne, once upon a time, was a Newfoundland and Labrador progressive conservative. It's just
there you go.
All back and forth.
Rainbow
it's
Coalition.
Everybody's just going all over the place.
New boxes in Terrebonne. 95 boxes now.
No, I got 100. You got to refresh.
Refresh. Oh, tighten up. Okay, 100 boxes.
1.1.
And she leads by 1 point. 1.1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that 1.1 is not 50 votes anymore. It's closer to 300, but so they're both above 11,000 votes. Wow.
Et je pense que un marche comme ça, c'est pas, on fait pas un recomptage de 300 votes. Il faut
je pense que, isn't it 0.1%?
Yeah, I think it's like 0.1.
It's 0.1%.
Like so,
évidemment, dans un cas comme celui-ci, la face, c'est que s'il y a 300 votes de différence, et là, on ne dit pas que ça va pas finir comme ça, là, mais
c'est maintenant 300 votes depuis quelques temps.
Oui, exact. Mais avec les bulletins, avec les noms écrits, je me demande si il pourrait y avoir des exceptions si on voit, par exemple, 0,5%. Mais en effet, je pense que la norme, c'est en bas de 0,1% automatique. C'est un recomptage judiciaire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, still over 70% in Scarborough Southwest. They're at 64% counted.
105 boxes in Terrebonne.
And they've been stuck. 64% for Daniel Martin in University-Rosedale is funny because Christy Freeland got exactly 64%. She got 64.0%, and Daniel Martin's at 64.0%.
Status quo.
Yeah. Although we are seeing that the NDP vote is up about almost 10 points.
Wow.
Well, now she's at 63.8. Wow, wow.
But
the NDP is up nearly 10 points, though they're probably still going to come up short in terms of actual votes because the NDP got 6,000 votes in University-Rosedale in the last election. Right now they're at 3,700, and they're probably only going to go up to, 5,000 by the end of it. So it might just be that their people came out. It's hard to know who stays home.
Yes, sir.
In these scenarios. But in Scarborough Southwest, Dolly Beckham's at 13,000, and in the last election, Bill Blair got 33,000. So the turnout is quite a bit lower here. So this could be in part turnout, but people often make that argument that when you see big shifts, that it's just about who voted and who didn't vote and all this. I think that's part of it. It's like you can't take it out entirely, but the people who vote in by-elections are not they're just the more engaged version of the people who vote in general, and they don't usually like people who really like the Conservative Party and really like voting will vote in by-elections, even if their party doesn't have a chance, right? So, like, part of it is turnout, but it's not all turnout. Some of it is the shift in public opinion, in part because we have this backed up. The shifts that we see in some of these writings does match at least the direction of the polls, right? Where the Liberals are doing better in some areas, Conservatives doing less, NDP doing better, and we're seeing that happen in the by-election. So it's not a coincidence, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
1% de différence at Terrebonne, 1 point difference in Terrebonne now, 110 boxes. So we're at, half boxes have been counted.
Yeah, it's getting
2 hours. It's a good rhythm. I have to say, congrats to Elections Canada. We'll see how it unfolds. On va voir comment ça se passe pour le reste de la soirée. Pour l'instant, Madame Auguste des libéraux mène par 1 point. Et c'est quoi? 262 votes. Ce qui est minuscule, évidemment. 262 votes, c'est une boîte de scrutin, à peu près. Et donc, encore une fois, c'est pas fini. Ce qui veut dire que si le rythme est linéaire, mon cher, d'ici minuit, on devrait avoir le gagnant. À moins que, soudainement, il y a un des deux candidats qui on ouvre les boîtes, puis c'est 90-10.
Oui, mais c'est toujours le cas que les dernières boîtes, ça prend tellement du temps.
Mais enfin, c'est que je sais qu'au Québec, pour Élection Québec, souvent, ils disent on compte les votes par anticipation en premier. Mm-hmm. Mais and I know at the federal level, au niveau fédéral, des fois c'est le cas, des fois c'est pas le cas, puis on le sait juste après, des fois. Donc, peut-être que, en fait, on est-tu rendu au vote par anticipation? Il y avait 18 000 votes. OK, on a dépassé maintenant le vote par anticipation. OK, il y avait 18 000 votes par anticipation. Donc, on a largement dépassé ça maintenant.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they do, and they like I said, they've allowed people to start counting earlier, but if it's the same poll workers who work the advanced poll as on you usually count. In my experience, I think you count the box that you were at, right? It's not like someone else comes in and counts your box.
Right.
I know that is this once that I did it provincially a long time ago. So yeah, we don't really know. It's often the case that the advanced polls come last because they're the biggest and they take a long time to count. And especially with the advanced turnout being so big, 18,000 votes. God, you want to predict who's going to win out of those 18,000 votes?
Yeah.
If we get to the end of the night, we're still short of that because turnout so far is 29%.
Half the box. So
yeah. But like you can look at it there. The turnout in Terrebonne is 29%, but we have 54% of the boxes reporting. So turnout in the boxes is over 50%. Right? And you can look at the other opposite. You got 69% of polls reporting in Scarborough Southwest, but only 23% turnout at the moment.
By the way, if I can just take a second here, je parle franglais ce soir. To say thank you for people who are watching. I see the numbers. 1,800 people are watching us tonight live. Watching our nonsense. Watch us talk about numbers and look at maps and nerd out about history. I just want to say I'm really grateful. Thank you for being here, everybody. If you like what we do, the work we do, like this is the Ritz YouTube channel. Like it, subscribe to it because you will see the updates. Éric posts, he has his own podcast, The Rit, which is great. But we post every week and we have bonus content. So the numberspod.ca for those who want to subscribe. But I want to say thank you for being here. I really am touched by this.
Yes, absolutely. We started this podcast now nearly 3 years ago, and we didn't know what was going to come of it. And it's just been great how much people have reacted positively. And as we mentioned, all the conventions we went to from different parties, just lots of people coming up to say thank you for the work and that we're doing. And we only do it because people watch it and listen to it. And so that's what's really great. Yeah, the YouTube channel, we post the podcast every week. It comes up on Thursdays. We'll see. We're thinking we might do a short reaction kind of podcast that we might put up in the morning from this. But then, if you want to support the podcast even more, you can go to the numberspod.ca. We post our episodes earlier. They're usually posted at the late morning rather than in the afternoon, and you get
That's
no
right.
ads and all that.
No ads.
And we do bonus episodes. We usually do one every week or two. So lots of extra stuff. So if you want to support us, you can go to thenumberspod.ca. And we appreciate it. We also have les chiffres. Les chiffres en français, on fait ça fois par mois à peu près. On va faire plus d'épisodes pendant la campagne électorale. Mais c'est la même chose. Leschiffres.ca, mais c'est aussi thenumberspod.ca. On a un lien dans la description de cette vidéo.
Et en passant, absolument. Et en passant, Éric, tu as peut-être vu un gazouillis, un post de Jean-Marc Léger qui dit qu'il va bientôt sonder le Québec avec la nouvelle première ministre désignée, Mme Fréchette, qui va devenir la première ministre officiellement mercredi matin. Donc, j'ai bien hâte de voir ça. Et mon petit doigt me dit qu'il va y avoir plus de sondages au Québec sous peu. Donc, surveillez ça, ça va être intéressant.
Okay. How about this question?
Oui,
it's a little bit off of the... but just if the Liberals get a majority, do you think it will impact the independence movement that we've seen in Alberta? We've definitely seen there's partisan splits on this. Very few people who vote for the federal Liberals support Alberta separation. The last couple of polls we saw would be like 40%, 50% among federal conservative voters. I'm not. If you're an Alberta separatist right now, did you think that things were okay because the Liberals were at 170 or 169, and now it's not because they're at 172 or 173? The context, it's like the stuff in the House has changed, but it's almost technical. I mean, when you think about it, the majority that the Liberals had in the House was most solid because the other parties don't want an election.
Yes.
That counted for 100%. So much more than the 169, 170 MPs they had. So until that changed, which might have been a while, the Liberals could have continued with a majority. The fact that they will have an actual majority, changes things technically, the committees and all this kind of stuff. But as we saw with Doug Ford, Mark Carney could decide to do an election next year if he wants. He doesn't have to wait until 2029.
No, he doesn't. But I have a feeling that they're doing this not to have to campaign for a little while, right? You don't actively try to recruit disgruntled MPs from other parties if you don't want stability. Why would you go? If they sweep tonight, we'll shut that snap election talk for this spring or maybe even this fall for a while. That's not going to happen, especially if they sweep. And now I see that 1,9% lead. Tatiana Auguste des libéraux mène par 1,9%, donc ça a grandi un peu. 120 boîtes de scrutin ont été comptées. But yeah, we will be with this parliament for a little while, it looks like.
Yeah.
And when you and I laughed a bit about the rumors of floor crossers, and then Chris d'Entremont happened, and it's like, well, surely there isn't more. 3 weeks later, Michael Ma happened, and then there was a Christmas break, and then we talked about the Conservative Convention is coming. Okay, well, surely there's rumors, and then Matt General finally crossed, and then Gladue crossed, and then Igloo in Newfoundland before that crossed. So these were kind of surprised. Now they're saying they have active discussions to have more floor crossers.
Yeah.
We would be fools not to believe it at least a little bit. Maybe it's been overhyped, but they talked about this and it did happen. So it's okay to pay attention to this. How did we get on that topic?
I don't know, but I got two comments that I want to point out here.
Yes, absolutely.
One, apparently someone plunked down for the airplane Wi-Fi to watch this, so they're very happy.
Wow.
I'm happy we're helping you pass your flight wherever you're going. Go a little bit faster. And then this one I think is just good. It says, je propose que le podcast animé par les chats s'intitule Les Griffes. Good.
I like it. J'adore.
They would not have much to say. You see, they're cats. They don't.
Here's the thing. Sometimes I do radio hits and TV hits from this spot in my basement, and sometimes I do it upstairs. If my cat is sleeping next to me, as soon as I start talking loud to the camera, they go like, you bother me. I want to sleep. So, and you saw Shiva. For those who missed it, Shiva was with me. I brought her to the camera, and she was. So she's like, leave me alone. I want to go to bed. So. Yeah, I don't think it would be a very good podcast, but merci pour la suggestion.
Terrebonne.
Plus de boîtes. On est rendu à combien? On est rendu à 125 boîtes. 59% des boîtes ont été dépouillées. On a plus de 500 votes maintenant de différence pour Mme Auguste.
Est-ce que c'est
La marge
est-ce que c'est
est
la marge le
petite.
plus important qu'on a vu ce soir?
En chiffre absolu, je pense que oui. 1,9%, 500 votes. Donc, ça augure bien pour Mme Auguste jusqu'à présent. Évidemment, c'est pas fini. La marge est beaucoup trop petite pour qu'on puisse dire vraiment qu'elle est favorite. Mais les libéraux sont peut-être en voie de faire un balayage ce soir. Et I see that in Scarborough Southwest, Mme Begum, she's still over 70%. Again, that's a big number. So.
Yeah, once we get closer to the end, we'll kind of assess who had the good nights and the bad nights. I think it's easy to say the Conservatives are having a bad night, even if the stakes for them are very low.
Yeah.
These are still pretty poor results. I think the NDP can be pretty happy with the results tonight. Second place in University-Rosedale, showing a bit of life, that they're not dead yet, you know. They're not, they're like the guy in the Monty Python.
It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah. I was thinking about the other one, the Bring Out Your Dead. The NDP does not, you know, they're happy, they're alive.
I don't know that reference.
No, sorry, it's from Holy Grail. So anyway, 59% des boîtes comptées Terrebonne. Taux de participation maintenant 31%. On est à maintenant 60%. Des boîtes et on a toujours un marge de 1,9 et un marge de plus que 500 votes entre les
500, 522 votes, exact.
Et moins que... Les conservateurs sont toujours moins que...
Incroyable, hein? Non, ça c'est incroyable, ça.
Ouais.
Encore une fois, il faut faire attention de ne pas exagérer nos analyses ici, mais c'est pas une bonne soirée pour les conservateurs.
Non.
Je n'avais pas... Si tu m'avais dit, c'est quoi les chances que les conservateurs perdent plus de 10 points dans les 3 comtés, je serais comme, comment? Non, ça va pas être si pire que ça. But when we look at the Ontario polls that we've had, we had several polls with the Liberals above 50%. Even from, I don't want to say conservatively leaning firms, but even from firms that have more favorable numbers for the Conservatives, Liberals have a healthy lead in Ontario. They won the province by only, was it 4.5 points in the general election? So if you get a 10-point lead, that flips a lot of seats, and that creates a riding that you had vote in the 60s to almost 70 or just above 70. Yeah.
Well, what I find actually interesting about the Ontario numbers is that, as you said, we've seen the Liberals do a little bit better in the polls. And when you average out the results here between Daniel Martin, Dolly Begum's up, Daniel Martin's down a hair. But, it kind of suggests that, okay, the polls that are showing that the Liberals might be up a bit in Ontario make some sense. We've seen that the polls in Ontario suggest the Conservatives are down. That's what's happening. And then there was the NDP number. The NDP number, to me, between elections, often can be a bit of a parked vote if they're up high.
Wait.
Yep. They did very poorly in the last election in Ontario. They're still not doing well, but they are up a bit. They're the party that has gained more than the Liberals since the last election in Ontario, based on the polls. And they're up here. They're up, sure, only a point in Scarborough Southwest, but they are up nearly 10 points in University-Rosedale. You average that out, they're up somewhere near 5 or 6 points, which is kind of where they seem to be in Ontario in the polls. So that result kind of makes sense, but it also validates that the NDP might be doing a bit better than the floor they hit in the last election. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering, so not to get ahead of ourselves, but we've been talking for 2 hours. So while you mentioned the NDP here, I'm just going to throw this at you. If the NDP is doing a little bit... Now, Terrebonne is the exception here, of course, but let's say that the NDP is doing a little better. Do you think that they would try really hard in Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie? Because that's coming, right? And Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie, again, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but the NDP has won this, but it's because of Monsieur Boulris, who would be leaving. The only presence of the NDP in the House of Commons east of Winnipeg. I don't know. If I'm Avi Lewis and his team, I throw everything I can at Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie, and I try to find the best candidate possible. And I mean they would, but I really do mean you should try, because otherwise you lose any presence in Eastern Canada, and that's that would be a tough break. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, there's two issues, though. One is that the numbers they're showing up in an NDP, in a Quebec riding for the NDP is awful, 0.5%. And the second thing is they would really need to have a good candidate. If they have like generic NDP candidate, no chance they win it. If it's someone with a little bit of name recognition, then they could have a chance. But I mean, we've talked about it on the podcast before. A lot of the vote that the NDP got in Rosemont la Petite Patrie is an Alexandre Boulairis vote. It's not an NDP vote. I would expect immediate drop of 10 points for the NDP in that riding, at the least, with Boulairis resigning.
Okay, let me be the devil's advocate here. Terrebonne is not a good example because the demographics, I know it's more francophone, obviously. Rosemont la Petite Patrie is like 78% francophone, but it's still very urban. It's much closer in the kind of people to University-Rosedale. And so if the NDP can gain 10 points in Rosedale, hey, find the best candidate, un francophone syndicaliste de gauche capable d'aller garder ce comté-là. I'm just making a case here. I don't think the NDP can hold on to it, but you know, if you want to build hope, they're doing well in hyper urbanized areas, and Rosemont la Petite Patrie is the third densest riding in Canada. Third densest.
Yeah. Connor a eu cette question-là. Non, c'est disparu. Pensez-vous que les libéraux qui ont présenté Tatiana Auguste à la Convention ont aidé à obtenir le vote? Oui, c'est vrai. Tatiana Auguste était... c'est elle qui a présenté Diana Fox Carney, qui est la conjointe de le premier ministre. Et après elle, c'était Mark Carney. Donc, elle était sur les télévisions, la couverture nationale partout, parce que c'était avant le discours de Mark Carney. C'est clair que ils n'ont pas raté la chance de mettre Madame Auguste de l'avant pendant cette fin de semaine à Montréal.
Non, évidemment. Et je crois qu'ils ont fait exactement ce qu'ils devaient faire. Et Madame Auguste, bon, évidemment, c'est une jeune femme qui n'était pas vraiment connue auparavant. Le fait qu'elle ait réussi à au moins faire une égalité en Terrebonne, gagner par un vote, une égalité, était spectaculaire. On sait que c'était surtout grâce à la campagne libérale, mais la candidate locale avait certainement quelque chose à voir là-dedans, à obtenir presque 40% du vote dans une circonscription qui généralement ne vote pas libéral. Et ils l'ont mis de l'avant au Congrès. Et pourquoi pas? Tu fais un congrès à Montréal et tu as une élection partielle 3 jours plus tard. Ils ont fait exactement ce qu'ils devaient faire. Les autres partis auraient fait la même chose. Et si on fait juste regarder les chiffres un instant, Éric, ça s'est resserré un petit peu en pourcentage, mais on voit encore 500 votes d'avance pour Mme Auguste. On est rendu à combien? 130 boîtes de scrutin. 61% des boîtes ont été dépouillées. C'est très stable depuis plusieurs boîtes. Évidemment, c'est encore trop tôt. 500 votes, c'est encore trop tôt. Mais quand ça commence à être stable comme ça regarde bien, comme on dit, pour les libéraux ici. Intéressant.
I got a couple comments here about my volume.
Yes.
I moved the mic a little bit closer to me. Let me know if that helps. If not, I can try to actually add myself. We have no producers here, people. And sometimes I mumble, especially in French. So my apologies. So yes, we're now at a 1.8 point lead for Tatiana Auguste in Terrebonne. It's a little bit... It's around 500 votes. Still got 70% more for Dolly Begum in Scarborough Southwest. The NDP is still in second place in University-Rosedale with 18%.
18%, yeah.
Daniel Martin is now above 64%. So 64% was the margin set by Christy Freeland in the last election. And Dolly Begum is now... She's 9 points up on Bill Blair in the last election. So that's... I think I had mentioned that one of the storylines was to see if Dolly Begum, what kind of reaction voters would have to her in this riding. Clearly, the fact that she used to be an Ontario NDP, as now a federal Liberal, is not hurting. It seems to be helping quite a bit, because 70% for the Liberals in this riding, when they're not up that much in University-Rosedale, suggests that it really... this extra little chunk of that vote, a lot of it is hers.
Absolutely. And I think earlier in the night we had the NDP at close to 10% in Scarborough Southwest. We see now it's gone down to 6. It's gradually been going down every box. And if I remember well, the score at the election general was 5%. So they're just inching back to that level. And so she did not take NDP vote, but she for sure has consolidated a lot of current Liberal votes.
Maybe it was the John Tory endorsement. Got the Conservatives over.
So I mean, we'll get into that at some point. But did you have that on your bingo card? That was strange, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I mean, fine. I'm not sure.
Sure.
Like, if why did they bother with it? But I mean, if the message is that this is supposed to be some sort of pan-national or pan-partisan coalition of the left, of the right, anyone from NDP to Marilyn Gladue, who is more conservative than I'd say most of or any of the liberals in that caucus. I guess that is what they're trying to argue. But anyway, just an odd thing to say.
Yeah, the Große Koalition that we saw for a long time in Germany. Not to the same extent. That coalition, for those who know German politics, and I'm not an expert, but it was the Socialist Party and the CDU, the Christian Democratic Union. It was like, it's not comparable. But wow.
You know, they always call those coalitions by the flag colors, right? They'll be like the Jamaica coalition because it's the black CDU, the Greens, and the yellow for the Liberals. This could be the Romanian. The Romanian.
Romania, coalition. That's right. I was looking. What flag is blue, red, and orange? Okay,
I mean, it's not orange. It's yellow, but it's
close enough.
We'll take it.
We have a question here, huh? So, who would have name recognition at Rosemont la Petite Patrie for the NDP? Valérie Plante or Rosedale and Scarborough? Inside sources are saying that Alexandre Boulris will definitely go provincial to QS. Yes. So it has not been confirmed, but it's pretty clear that Monsieur Boulris seems to be heading towards the Quebec scene in Gouin, which is the eastern half of Rosemont. The western half of Rosemont Patrie. And I'm not sure. The thing is, okay, Rosedale and Scarborough has a farm in Berthier. And Berthier is very rural, outside of Trois-Rivières. Trois-Rivières, is that fair? Well, it's officially. Well, the thing is, it's closer to Joliette than Trois-Rivières. But anyway, it's very rural. She has a farm. Rosemont Patrie has nothing to do with that riding. And she was a great story, but she almost lost like 3 times in a row now. And why would she move to Montreal, to the city? And no, she's not going to do that. Valérie Plante, in Rosemont Patrie, she would win. It's like, but I don't think she's into it. Seriously, I think after 2 terms as mayor of Montreal, and it was a rough go at the end, especially. Would she even want this? So it's not that you find a great candidate, but you have to find a great candidate who wants this job to go to the rebuilding NDP and be the Quebec representative, to be the francophone of the NDP. Every panel, every time the NDP does something in Canada, like Boulris had to suffer through, he gets attacked. Boulris was attacked really hard by the Bloc Québécois and the PQ over the years. So it's going to be interesting to see him going to QS. So to answer your question, I mean, Valérie Plante would be a great candidate. It's just I don't think she wants this, but we'll see. You have thoughts on this, Éric? Or
I have the very important thought that was provided to me by our commenters that the coalition would be an Armenian coalition because Armenia does have orange rather than yellow in their flag.
Thank you. I love this.
There you go. We've settled that, so that's done.
We're not going to use that, though.
No, I don't think so. We don't have that tradition here.
Where are we at? Terrebonne.
Okay,
Regardons Terrebonne.
145 boîtes.
150 maintenant. Refresh. 150 boîtes.
C'est quoi en français, refresh?
Rafraîchir. Littéralement. Okay. Ouais. Ou réinitialiser. Alors, l'avance, oh boy. OK, l'avance a grandi. 2,3% d'avance pour Mme Auguste. On approche de presque 800 votes. This is starting to look like a Liberal win, my friend. We're not there yet, but we're looking at a potential, I think we can say, The odds look good. If we had the New York Times needle, it would not be in the middle anymore. It would tilt Liberal. You make a face. You don't agree?
No, I'm just messing with my screen. How many boxes do you have? 150?
I have 150.
Oh, okay. I'm up to date. Yeah. Une avance de 2,3. C'est une avance maintenant de
800 votes.
Ouais.
Ça commence à ressembler à un balayage libéral.
Et surtout, si c'est le vote par anticipation qui va être compté en dernier, on sait que historiquement, c'est les libéraux qui performent bien dans le vote par anticipation. Et au niveau provincial, c'était toujours le cas que c'est le PLQ qui a plus de succès dans le vote.
Les électeurs plus âgés aussi. Ouais. Présentement, on voit les électeurs plus âgés. Au Québec, les boomers québécois aiment beaucoup M. Carney. Dans les sondages, on peut voir ça.
Ouais. Et c'est toujours 3% pour les conservateurs à Terrebonne. C'est quand même... Encore, je suis un peu...
C'est pitoyable, ça. C'est vraiment pitoyable.
C'est un bon mot pour ça. OK, donc ça, c'est à suivre. Encore... 85% in Scarborough Southwest. We're getting close to the end. 80% in University-Rosedale. That's not really changing all that much. Okay. Yeah. I'm just... after what happened with us with Toronto St. Paul's and what happened with us...
No, you're right. You are correct.
Yeah. We'll see. If this continues to grow. The thing with Toronto St. Paul's is... Oh, now it's 2.6. Ooh.
Yeah, it's growing, huh?
It's now... Oh, wait. It's 900 votes now. What was it before?
It was 700.
Oh, okay.
750.
Yeah, that's a bigger number.
Like
yeah, okay. But in Toronto St. Paul's, it was that it kept on getting closer. And then there was a couple times when, like, you know, then it got wider a teeny bit, but then it got closer. And by the end, we were just sick and tired of it. It was like 4 in the morning or what? Like, it was a super... I think we were on for 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah, no, we were shocked, and I remember when people texted me because going to bed I was all hyper and all full of adrenaline. Right, you go to bed, you don't sleep right away. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna check my phone, and I see Philippe come back. I was like, screw you. Well, I didn't scream. Well, F you. I'm not coming back. It's like, oh no, and the Conservatives won. Yeah, so we won't get trapped. But as you said, in Toronto St. Paul, Éric. We saw the margins reduce. It was very slow, but it was reducing every time.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, can we go to bed? 2 points, 1.8. Now it started to grow. 2.6% pour Madame Auguste. Imagine the Liberals get almost 50% of the vote in freaking Terrebonne. That's unusual.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
So what do you think? I don't know. Is it time yet? Or?
I think it's time. I think we have another hour, so you
this
have
is
time
again
for a
from
second
the
beer.
Brasserie Mille. So this one is a Vit beer, a Blanche.
Vite beer.
Yeah.
Sehr gut, ja.
Yeah. So this is in Terrebonne. It's on the Rue des Forges. Donc, si vous êtes résident de Terrebonne, OK.
Si je peux juste faire une petite parenthèse ici,
Oui, vas-y.
je vois que
faut voir ce son-là.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's good. Une petite parenthèse, si je peux me permettre ici, parce que je pense qu'il y a plusieurs Québécois et des Canadiens un peu partout au pays. En fin de troisième période, les Sabres de Buffalo mènent 4-1 contre les Blackhawks. Et pourquoi je mentionne ça? Avec une victoire des Sabres qui semble imminente. First round confirmé en série. It's going to be Habs versus Lightning.
Oh.
So... a redux, une reprise, une revanche de la finale de 2021 lorsque nous étions en pandémie et que le freaking Lightning beat the Habs. So, go les Canadiens en série. I'm just saying this, I'm a Habs fan. I know many people here are not, but Habs rule this year. So, anyway, back to politics.
Suzuki gets 100 points.
100 points.
I know we're off track here, but I was shocked that there's only been, I think, 5 Canadians who have ever done it.
Well, yeah, but Maurice Richard played in a time where there was 50 games a year, right?
Yeah. But I mean,
but
like,
it's
they
still
didn't
not
have
that
anybody
many.
in like the 90s. Like,
Yeah.
I thought Don Fuss or Turgeon would have got it. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right, let's
Back to politics. But yeah, go Habs, go. Seriously.
yeah.
Who's with me?
So it's still 900 votes. I don't think that's changed in Terrebonne.
OK, let's refresh Terrebonne.
Did it?
160 boîtes. Et on est presque à 1000 votes. Éric, on s'approche.
On s'approche, mais on n'est pas là.
On n'est pas là.
Non.
On n'est
On
pas
va
là.
essayer cette blanche.
Vas-y, évidemment. C'est une bonne idée. Et là, je vois que, Dolly Brigham in Scarborough Southwest, 70 on the dot. So she could get under 70. That would be a big disappointment for the little. How's the beer? You made a face.
All right, so as I mentioned before,
Cool.
I actually went and found these. These are from Terrebonne. This is from a brewery in Terrebonne called Mille. There's another one called the Risson Noir. Mm-hmm. So the first one was this lager, and then this one's a blanche. I like the blanche. That's the call from the numbers beer garden. So anyway, that's that.
Yeah. I had to break up with beer. I had to end beer. It's too bad.
I don't really like beer that much, but these are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. And anyway, I'm trying to support local businesses in Terrebonne.
Absolutely.
I actually had to go on their website. I found the Dipinards where they had it in Montreal when I was there for the convention. I went to the sketchiest Dipinard I've ever been to in my life, and I found these. So.
And we have a few of those at Montreal. So yeah.
All right. So let's review.
Let's recap.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's 11 o'clock. All right.
Welcome
to this live stream. So
1,800 people watching. Thank you, people. Seriously, 11 p.m. If you're on the West Coast, it's 8 p.m. Welcome to the Numbers live stream. We're having a little fun here. Perhaps it's not everybody who's having fun tonight looking at these results, but you and I and our listeners, we're having fun. That's what matters. So, yes. Éric, let's refresh.
All right. So we'll start with University-Rosedale, which we called very early.
Yes, we did.
We called second. It wasn't the first call. But University-Rosedale called for the Liberals. They're now at 86% of the ballots boxes have been counted. 65% for Danielle Martin, which represents a slight increase in support for the Liberals compared to Chrystia Freeland's result in the last election. The NDP is at 18.3% at the moment, which is a jump of nearly
9 points, 8 points,
9 points. Yeah. So they're up quite good. The Conservatives, which is a bit of the theme tonight, they're down half of their vote. They were at 23.5% last time. They're now at 13%. So rough night for the Conservatives in University-Rosedale, this downtown Toronto riding, but the Liberals win it pretty easily. Scarborough Southwest, Dolly Begum, the former Ontario NDP MPP, is at 69.9%. She was at 70% for much of the night. This is a jump of about 8 points for the Liberals, which is a strong result. They never got over 60% in any of the Trudeau elections. The Conservatives are second here, but they're down big from 30.6% to 18.5%.
Yeah.
And the NDP is up just marginally from
barely
5% to 5.9%. But another win for the Liberals. The two wins give them a majority government plus one seat, so they don't even need to use the Speaker in the House of Commons to break the tie. Majority government for Mark Carney. He got it officially on August 13th. Well, officially.
Yeah.
Right, fine. On August 13th, 2026. And then Terrebonne. Why don't you bring us through Terrebonne?
Donc, à Terrebonne, et je vais le faire en français, I'll do it in French if you don't mind, people. À Terrebonne, nous avons 160 boîtes. Laisse-moi faire un petit refresh. Nous avons 160 boîtes de scrutin qui ont été dépouillées, 78% des boîtes. Donc, on s'approche du 80% ici. La libérale Tatiana Auguste est à presque 18 000 votes. 49% du vote. Le Bloc québécois, 46,4%. Donc, un écart de 2,5 points. Oh. C'est un écart qui a grand... What did I say?
I said he got the majority on August 13th. It's April 13th. I'm confusing it with Tatiana Auguste, I think. I'm just, mixing up the words in my head.
There you go. I didn't even notice. OK. Donc, je disais, à Terrebonne, l'écart entre la libérale, Mme Auguste, et la bloquiste Nathalie Saint-Clair-Desgagnés continue de grandir. Ça fait plus d'une heure que la libérale est en avance. Mm-hmm. Je pense qu'on s'approche. L'aiguille commence à pencher vers les libéraux. On n'est pas encore rendu à faire une détermination. J'ai jamais réussi à dire un call en français, mais je peux pas dire ça à Radio-Canada. Un call, mais ça augure bien pour les libéraux présentement. Peut-être un balayage des 3 circonscriptions.
On a eu ces questions-là de Emily. What do these results mean for a potential Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie by-election? We're all expecting Alexandre Boulay to probably announce soon, because he's supposed to run for Québec Solidaire, the provincial left-wing party in Quebec. The Gouin riding is without an incumbent because Gabriel Nadeau-Dubois, the former co-leader, is not running for re-election. The nomination period for that riding for QS opened on March 29th.
Yes.
And it's only open for a few weeks. So
yeah,
he's got to announce soon if he's going to run for that nomination, which we all expect, which means he would resign his seat, which means there would be a by-election within the next 6 months. Based on these results in Terrebonne, would you draw any conclusions on what would happen in Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie?
Well, okay, here's what I would say, Éric. I would say that if the Monsieur Boulay decides to leave, let's say in early May, look at your calendar. What's happening May 2nd? May 2nd is the 15th anniversary of the Orange Wave, Jack Layton. Right? It was on May 2nd, 2011 that they won over 100 seats in the country, 59 in Quebec. It feels like maybe he wants to wait until then. He can say he was an MP for 15 years for Rosemont-la-Patrie. Let's say he does leave in May. The Liberals would be crazy to wait. Just call that by-election right away as soon as possible, maybe in late June before Fête Nationale. And the lady who asked the question said, is it a comfortable Liberal flip? I wouldn't say comfortable, but I would project the Liberals to be in front here. They did very well in the last election. They had over 30% of the vote. The Bloc was nowhere to be found, only 18% of the vote. So it's very hard to see how the Bloc would be able to flip this in the numbers we see. You imagine the Liberals win Terrebonne but lose Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie. It doesn't make any sense, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's why I wouldn't say comfortable, but the Liberals would be the favorite. Would you concur?
Well, yeah, but Terrebonne, it kind of shows how the local dynamics can really play a huge role, right? Because the vote has been polarized between the Liberals and the Bloc. The Conservatives have dropped 15 points here. 15 points. Their vote just has not showed up. And it's not just that they have stayed home, because I think both the Liberals and the Bloc are going to be on track to probably getting more of the vote than raw votes than they did in the general election. But in a similar vein, we got a question earlier on.
True,
see if I can find the name.
Wow. That's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, we got it from Brad and from Breton. What about for Beaches East York? That's another potential by-election that could come up.
That's true.
Nate Erskine-Smith has said he's going to resign his seat in the summer so that he can run for the OLP leadership. He's going to actually try to run for the nomination for the Ontario Liberals in Scarborough Southwest, which has been vacated by Dolly Begum. Not clear if he's going to win that nomination, but he says either way he's going to resign the seat, which means there will be a by-election in Beaches East York, probably before the end of the year. Maybe early next year, depending on the timeline. But these results in Toronto would not make me think that Avi Lewis should run in Beaches East York.
No, I know. No way. And I know we had that small sample. I think, was it Main Street Research? Yeah, it was Main Street Research that showed that Avi Lewis could be competitive, maybe. That would be a huge risk. Don't. That's not a good idea. Unless they have their own numbers. And they can, but I would strongly doubt this. 6% for the NDP, marginally better than in the general. That's in Scarborough Southwest.
Right next door.
Now, I'm sorry?
Right next door. Scarborough Southwest
is
exactly.
Right next
door to Beaches East York.
Absolutely. And University-Rosedale is a good result for Miss Purdy. Right now it's 18.5. So up about, 9 points or 8.5 points. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not competitive, but it's pretty good. Something to build on. And the NDP in Terrebonne, we won't talk about it much, right? Not even 1%. So,
no.
Has the change in Terrebonne? Let me check.
We're getting very close to the end, because University-Rosedale is 91.5%. There's only 13 boxes left. And Scarborough Southwest, there's only 2 boxes left. So that one's pretty much done. Turnout right now is at 33%. With the extra 2 boxes, maybe they'll go up to 34 or 35. It's not great, but it's not unusual for a by-election, especially in a riding where it was kind of a foregone conclusion who was going to win. So not a huge shock there that the turnout would be so low. 27% in University-Rosedale is even lower, but there's still a few more boxes to count, so maybe they'll get over 30. But already the turnout in Terrebonne is at 41%, and they still have
pretty good.
They still have 41 boxes, and these are probably going to be the biggest ones. And when we had the longest ballot committee before Battle River Crowfoot, there was talk about the candidates who got 0 votes, and that they were maybe the first ones to get 0 votes in ever. Battle River Crowfoot had tons of them without any single vote, and right now we have at least a couple
over 20
dozen, candidates without any votes.
And let's not give them too much attention. It's all right. Yeah, but yes, many zeros.
Just in case people are wondering, this is meant as a protest for electoral reform, and they've done it now for a number of by-elections, and they keep going on, and that's it. And while it was an interesting kind of thing before, by now, just Philippe and I who have to do this during by-elections are a little over it, but that's fine. All by the rules. And political participation is part of democracy. So
sorry, I'm just a little shaken up here. We just had a very nice comment and donation from a Bruins fan. I think I don't know whether to
like it or not.
I think I need to take a shower, but sir, thank you. Well, sorry, I think it's a sir. Thank you very much for this. I appreciate this.
We will like it.
I actually, if it looks like the Bruins will play the Sabres in the first round, or maybe Carolina, Bruins Sabres, Adams division, give that to me right into my veins. I'm gonna watch those games, and I'll say go Bruins in that series. Go Bruins against the Sabres. Because I'd like to have a second round against the Bruins. That would be awesome. Anyway, so go Bruins. So.
All right. Okay, so these last boxes in Toronto could end up taking a while. They usually...
Yeah.
These last ones.
Let's refresh Terrebonne. Has it tightened up a little bit? It's tightened up a little bit. 2.3%. 2.3% de différence entre la libérale et la bloquiste dans Terrebonne. En termes absolus, on est à peu près 900 votes. Donc, c'est un peu plus serré, mais il commence à manquer de boîtes pour la bloquiste, à moins que vraiment il y ait beaucoup de votes bloquistes qui restent dans ces boîtes-là. Ça va être difficile. Je veux dire, si on fait un petit calcul, il reste environ 1/6 des boîtes. Et elle a presque 1000 votes de retard. Donc, ça commence à faire beaucoup. Mais bon, on ne sait pas. Peut-être que les dernières boîtes vont être très favorables au Bloc. Mais à suivre. Mais pour l'instant, la libérale est toujours la favorite.
Et c'est incroyable de voir. 49% maintenant pour les libéraux. Ça, c'est les résultats pour les libéraux à Terrebonne depuis 2011. 9% en 2011, 28% en 2015, 29% en 2019, 30% en 2021, 39% en 2025 et maintenant 49%.
Incroyable.
Oui, c'est incroyable qu'ils ont... Ils étaient à 9% il y a 15 ans.
Il y a 15 ans.
Mais c'est... Et comme tu as dit, c'est un comté qui est plus francophone, plus nationaliste que le moyenne au Québec. Et même dans un comté comme ça, les libéraux sont capables de prendre la moitié du vote. C'est incroyable de voir. Et pour le Bloc québécois, 46,5%, c'est une bonne résultat.
Excellent.
Parce que ils ont eu 39% en 2025, 41% en 2021. Ils ont eu 51% en 2019. Donc ça, c'est comme un peu le haut niveau pour le Bloc récemment. Ils ont eu 52% en 2008. Mais ils sont dans ces eaux-là où c'est possible d'imaginer le Bloc à 35 sièges au moins. Mais c'est quand même pas assez d'avoir la victoire ici.
On dirait que c'est ça, exactement. Tu mentionnais, et si je peux juste donner un peu de données démographiques sur Terrebonne, ça, c'est les données du recensement. 92% ont le français comme la langue parlée à la maison, seulement 3,5% anglais, et après ça, on est dans les espagnols 1%, créole 1%, arabe 0,5%. C'est une circonscription francophone. C'est le Québec francophone. Le Québec, bon, c'est pas urbain, mais c'est certainement banlieusard, et c'est une banlieue qui grandit rapidement, on l'a mentionné un peu plus tôt.
Et c'est possible que ça a changé depuis 2021.
Oui, ça a changé un peu, quoique je pense pas que ça a été un changement radical, mais en effet, lorsqu'on va avoir les nouvelles données de Statistique Canada, on va mettre ça à jour. Peut-être que c'est un peu moins francophone, mais honnêtement, à Terrebonne, je doute que ça soit en bas de 90%. Ce qui serait bien sûr une bonne nouvelle. Mark Carney, s'il l'emporte encore une fois, mais si Mme Auguste gagne l'emporte, il va pouvoir dire « Je suis capable de gagner dans le Québec francophone », ce qui n'a pas été le cas de beaucoup de premiers ministres libéraux depuis ma naissance.
Donc, les deux partis ensemble, ils ont 95,3%
Incroyable. C'est
And
vrai.
we got a question here. Is this the most strategic voting narrowing to top two that you've ever seen in the multi-party era? When is the last time the top two parties combined for over 95% in a given riding? I feel like there might have been a few in the GTA.
There were a few New Brunswick as well. I think I can pull this up.
Yeah.
Mais in Quebec, that's really rare.
Yeah.
I can't think of... Top of my head, je n'arrive pas à penser à une course presque 50-50 dans aucun comté au Québec. C'est vraiment une exception que l'on voit présentement dans Terrebonne.
Mais le marge maintenant,
c'est
juste...
1,8? 1,8%?
Ouais,
c'est réduit
600
encore.
votes.
Attention, ça se resserre un peu. Est-ce qu'on va avoir un photo finish, mon cher? One vote. That's all it takes.
Ugh, it's going to take so long.
No.
Because look, we're
Il
still
reste
waiting
30
for those
voix
last
de
two
scrutin.
in Scarborough Southwest. We've been sitting here this whole time. They haven't
Yeah.
counted those last two. They counted a few more in University-Rosedale, but it's going to take a little while for the rest of these. It's interesting to see these results here. And so Carney's got his majority. Two of them were in safe seats. One of them is not in a safe seat.
Nope.
If he wins it. Does it change? Do you think it changes anything if they win a majority? Technically, they win the majority through by-elections, even though these are all seats they held before. So, like, it didn't really change anything because it was only the floor crossers that actually gave them the majority. But in sort of the narrative time, it's the by-elections that are the ones that actually do it.
Yeah.
Does that matter at all?
I would say this. If there had been no floor crossers, let's say the siren calls of joining the Liberals had not worked on any of the floor crossers that we have seen since November, Éric, there's a good chance we'd be in a campaign right now. Right, with the numbers we have seen, the rise in Liberal support we have seen since the Davos speech and the Conservative convention, we would be in an election right now, and those potential floor crossers that would not have crossed would lose their jobs. So that's what I would say about this. The exception, of course, being Madame Gladu in Sarnia-Lambden.
Sampton?
Yeah, sorry about that. Sarnia-Lambden, I'm tired. For the others, they were going to probably lose their seat if they were not going to cross the floor.
Hey,
So,
refresh.
refresh, is it closer?
Réactualiser la page.
Oh, attention, mais moins de 500 votes. On va avoir un photo finish ici. Attention, c'est pas fait. Le plus élevé, je pense, c'était 2,6%. Et je pensais, wow, 2%. Et non, c'est Toronto-Saint-Paul all over again, my friend. We're gonna have to wait. Il va falloir qu'on attende encore 185 boîtes de scrutin. Les dernières 5 boîtes de scrutin, parce que la dernière fois j'avais fait refresh, c'était 180, ont été très favorables au Bloc québécois. Donc, ce n'est pas terminé. Mais les dernières boîtes de scrutin, c'est ça. Encore une fois, on ne sait pas si c'était le vote par anticipation. Peut-être que...
Non, c'est ça. Ouais,
on ne
ça
sait
c'est...
pas.
on
J'aimerais
sait pas.
savoir.
Mais c'est juste incroyable de voir ça. On est... donc les deux partis ensemble, c'est presque 39 000 votes. Et il y a une marge de moins de 500. Après,
500 votes.
Après, une marge d'un vote la dernière fois. C'est vraiment un Terrebonne. It's a swing riding from
The
start to finish.
swingiest. Absolument.
What? But imagine 10 years ago, I'm telling you, what's going to be the swingiest riding? It's going to be Terrebonne. It's going to be the closest one. And it's going to be the Liberals. And, like, man, just think about how crazy the last 18 months has been.
Yeah.
It's been the craziest period of politics that I've ever covered. No exaggeration.
No.
Like people should go. Well, you shouldn't maybe. But if you go watch our over/under contest episode we did at the end of 2024, we always do predictions for the year to come as a fun little exercise, which is mostly about embarrassing ourselves. And we're like over/under on conservative seats 220, and we're like, oh boy, that's not high.
That's a lot.
It just shows it. I mean, it. Yeah, maybe we're just not that great, but also it just shows you how things can change over time.
I mean, Chrystia Freeland had resigned, finance minister resigning the morning of an economic update. And 1 week later, we're doing over-unders for the whole 2025. It's like, well, I mean, surely, will the Conservatives get 50% of the vote? I mean, and you remember, of course, that one Angus Reid Institute poll that was fielded in the holidays, just like showing the Liberals in the teens. And then everything flipped. And again, I mean, I'll say this. Right now, both the Liberals and the Bloc Québécois, ensemble, together, they have 95% of the vote. In Terrebonne. That I'm gonna check tonight. I don't have the energy right now. Mais ça va faire partie de nos analyses. Est-ce que dans un autre comté au Québec, on a eu deux partis qui ont pris 95% du vote? I can't think of one.
No. No, because there's always at least a third party that has a chunk of the vote.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Quebec voters like to split it. We vote for many parties. So yeah. Là, c'est 1,1% d'avant. Je vais refresh.
Referendum numbers.
1% now.
Ooh.
400 votes. It's getting much closer. The Bloc Québécois is making a run for it. What are these boxes? What are these? I want to know. I want to know.
West Mascouche or something? Maybe that's where it's coming from.
Madame Auguste avait presque 1000 votes d'avance il y a quelques boîtes et soudainement son avance est réduite à 400 votes. Ces boîtes-là étaient très, très favorables au Bloc québécois. De façon disproportionnée. Wow.
Okay. The comments are ahead of me and they are telling me that it's even closer. Woof. 260 votes.
Wow.
260 votes.
Que se passe-t-il?
0,6% du vote entre Tatiana Auguste et Nathalie Sinclair-Desgagnés. Il nous reste 21 boîtes.
Tendance.
C'est
beaucoup. C'est beaucoup de boîtes.
Oui.
Et mais le 48% pourrait être insuffisant pour gagner.
Et ça c'est incroyable.
C'est incroyable.
Donc, chaque boîte a à peu près 220 électeurs ou votes. Donc, s'il nous reste 21, on a à peu près 4600 votes qui nous restent.
Il reste, c'est ça. 90% des boîtes ont été comptées. 90% des boîtes ont été comptées, dépouillées, et on ne peut toujours pas dire qui va gagner.
Ouais. C'est tout à fait possible avec un vote si polarisé comme ça d'avoir un écart de 260 votes qui va changer avec 4600, 5000 votes qui nous restent. Hey, okay. No, this is a nail biter. Marcy's banging at the door. She wants to come in.
She wants to come in. Let her in. Let her in. It's 11 p.m. Let her in.
No.
I'll take it.
She could cause havoc. We can't. What if she disconnects something? No. She's very excited. Can people hear it?
On rafraîchit la page. Come on. On s'en fout de Scarborough maintenant. Est-ce que Scarborough, ça n'a pas bougé depuis longtemps? Oh, Scarborough, c'est fini?
Hey, Scarborough's finished.
188 sur 188.
All right.
Alors, elle n'a pas eu 70%. What a bum. She didn't get 70%.
Just short. All right, so now the Scarborough Southwest is done. We can really do a... So, Dolly Begum gets 69.9% of the vote. That is up 8.4 points for the Liberals. The Conservatives get 18.4%. That is, it's too late for me to do this in my head. 12.2 points that the Conservatives have dropped. 12 points in Scarborough is not good.
That's bad.
The NEP is at 6%, so they're up 1 point. The Greens are actually up 1.1 points. And the PPC, which ran a candidate last time, is down 0.1. So that's the result in Scarborough Southwest. Dolly Begum heading to the House of Commons after spending quite a few years with the Orange team at Queen's Park. She'll now join the Red team in Ottawa. One wonders if there will be a cabinet shuffle and we'll see some of these women at the cabinet table at the convention in Montreal. I thought this was really interesting. I think it was on... I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday. But
the lead grew back again. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
They had a little thing where they had the three candidates, Dolly Begum, Daniel Martin, and Tatiana Auguste, on the stage in Montreal, which kind of showed that they felt confident enough that they could pull Dolly Begum and Daniel Martin from the door knocking for at least a day to go to that event in Montreal. So I mean, that shows that confidence was well placed. I wouldn't be surprised if we see. I don't know if we see. Well, I mean, Bill Blair and Chrystia Freeland were in cabinet, so I guess you could have two Toronto people in cabinet. But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
There's going to be some changes that they've telegraphed that enough, I think, and they might be waiting for these by-elections to be done before they do that.
Oui, absolument. Oh, oui, absolument. Ils voulaient pas distraire. They didn't want to distract and change the narrative here. It's like they were focused on these by-elections, especially the one in Terrebonne. So 1.2% d'avance pour Madame Auguste. It went back up a little bit, but it served as a warning that no, this night is not over.
Yeah, and also it's not like a linear thing.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Because it feels like that. You know, when you talk in the United States, they had the red wave or the blue wave or whatever they were called. It's not as clear here because, again, it depends on which boxes are being opened. It depends on where those boxes, where even the advance poll is regionally based, right? So while the advance polls are bigger, it's still like there's one in the west part of the riding, there's one in the excuse me, in the east or the center. So we don't really know, but these last boxes could end up being pretty big. Just I want to keep track of it.
500 votes now.
Just how big these boxes are as they come in. So right now we're at 42,863. So we'll see how much the next one is. 195. All right.
Didn't you say that in Terrebonne they had 21,000 apiece? Yeah, it was. That's what. No, 23,000 apiece.
23.
So okay, so they may not get to 23, but they're both over 20,000. That's a lot of returning voters and probably new voters.
Yeah, based on current trends, the Liberals could end up with around 22,400 votes if they keep this up for the last few boxes. So they'd just be short. But
that's still impressive, though.
It's still impressive. It's always impressive when turnout in a by-election is near a general. But again, the Conservatives had 10,961 votes. So they've lost, as of this moment, they've lost 9,500 votes in this riding. That is a huge amount. That is more than the NDP got in all three ridings in the last election. Or roughly. Anyway, we'll see what's going to happen there. So that's done. Still got 8 more boxes in University-Rosedale. But I think we can call, not that we wouldn't have earlier, that the NDP will finish second in University-Rosedale. And you had said at the beginning of the night, before we had any results, I asked, what's a good night for the NDP? You said second place, University-Rosedale. So I think this counts as it's not like a great night, like an amazing night, like Avi Lewis is going to be popping champagne in Ottawa tomorrow. But it's a good night. They can be happy with this after pretty much nothing but bad news for the last year and a half.
Absolutely. No. This is a decent night. Something to build on for the future. Again, not competitive, but they rarely increase their votes in by-election, and they did tonight in that downtown Toronto riding. So
we got a question from Brian Valco. Any possibility of a by-election North Vancouver Capilano? So that's the riding for Jonathan Wilkinson.
Yes.
And he was supposed to be one of the people who's going to get a diplomatic posting, like Bill Blair did.
Yeah.
Then the chatter seemed to be that no, maybe he was going to stick around. I saw him at the convention in Montreal. So I guess we'll see if there's going to be that by-election there. But right now, I think the only one we're really kind of expecting is, two is Rosemont and Beaches.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting pair if those happen on the same night, right? That would put a lot of pressure on Avi Lewis to do something. I don't know if he runs in either of them, but
yeah. The excuse for Avi Lewis not to run is right there. Just I want to build a party. I want to travel the country. I want to meet potential voters. Until you get a safer seat, there are no safe seat for the NDP, but no safer seat. That would be strange. But the gentleman was asked a question about Mr. Wilkinson. Well, perhaps he was waiting for the results of these by-elections to say, okay, I can resign my seat now since we have a majority. We expect there will be many votes, many important votes in the spring legislature, or spring parliament, spring session, should I say. Where are we at in Terrebonne? We have new boxes.
I'm being told to refresh.
196. It's 1.1%, so it got a tiny little bit tighter. It's 490 votes for Madame Auguste.
So that box only had 150. So it's not huge boxes. All right. So, si on imagine, il va y avoir 200 votes à peu près en moyenne dans les boîtes qui en restent.
Il en reste combien? Il en reste 25. 25 boîtes.
25 boîtes.
Alors, on va se coucher après minuit,
Non,
finalement.
c'est 15 boîtes.
15 boîtes? Combien? 200... Ah, 211. Ok, je pensais
Ouais.
221.
Donc, c'est à peu
15
près
boîtes.
3000 votes. Est-ce que ça va être possible pour le Bloc?
3000 votes
C'est
et
maintenant
le Bloc
avance
doit
de
avoir
500,
500 votes de
ouais.
plus. N'est-ce pas?
Ouais.
Ça veut dire...
Faut que c'est
1000
comme
1700 à 1000.
1750 à 1250.
C'est comme 62% du vote à peu près. Là.
58, oui.
58,
58,
ok.
59%.
C'est possible.
Oui,
C'est possible.
60% du vote. Dans les dernières
Ben,
votes,
on-
ça va être pas être facile.
On a vu des gros swings tantôt. C'est possible. On doit attendre. Encore une fois, c'est quand
We're
même
not gonna
incroyable.
call it.
On a 93% des boîtes qui ont été ouvertes. On n'est toujours pas prêt à déclarer une vainqueur, parce que ça va être une femme. Une
Just to repeat in
vainqueur
English,
ici.
because what I said, I think, is
It's smart.
based on the amount of votes that we expect to
Yes.
be left.
Yeah.
We think that the Bloc would have to win about 60% of what's left in order to overturn this margin, which is not impossible, but it's a big ask.
Yeah.
So-
That New York Times needle is not all the way red,
Yeah.
but it's tilting red.
I love that needle. Oh.
Oh, I have bad flashback on that needle. But
Yeah, but you know what? In 2016, that thing saved my life, right? Because I was doing, well, not saved my life, but like I was doing radio coverage for the CBC that night. And I was following the New York Times needle. And everybody was still like, oh, well, you know, Trump's leading or whatever, but he's probably not going to end up winning, like all the polls and everything. And I was looking at the needle and I was like, And so I think on CBC Radio, I was like the first person who said, I think Trump might end up winning this tonight. I remember that. That's the needle helped me that night. I've always thought about how we could have our own needle in Canada. I just don't think it's necessary because the elections go by so quickly.
Fast.
But
It's too
boy,
fast.
it would be fun, wouldn't it?
You would have to scrape those results, and then you would have wilder swings because we don't know where the votes are coming from. It would be fun, but it will also be distracting. You'd spend the whole night watching the needle instead of watching the numbers, and I don't know. I know I would. I would be fixated on that stupid needle. So no thanks for me. That's not for me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
refresh.
Come on.
I'm
New
getting
numbers.
I'm getting slower internet. Is that me or is that Élection Canada?
You're
who's,
coming in clear for me.
Okay, well, okay, maybe it's me.
Oh wait. I feel like the chat is from the future.
My Terrebonne page has crashed.
Oh
so.
no, that's very sad. We're at 196. Though people say it's at 198 in the chat, but I'm not going to trust anything I read on the internet. I'm going to wait till I see it myself. Oh, they're saying it's getting closer to over.
Oh yeah,
1.5. Come on. Give us some numbers. 198. There we go. Yeah, it's at 1.5 now. The margin is now 630 votes. Are you frozen?
yes, I think I am.
Okay, I thought you were just taken with.
No, but I can't see myself. My page froze. I'm gonna have to go away and come back. Okay.
All right, I won't move.
All right, I'll be back.
He was just frozen with. I mean, that's really our face all night, isn't it? Looking at these results. So yeah, Terrebonne, we got now. Let me see if I can run those numbers again, just because it's kind of fun. So we got. This is the amount of votes we got. So let's say it's 220 votes. 220 votes per box out of the 13 that are left. We're now at 2860, and the Bloc has to overcome a result of 600 votes out of that. That's starting to get that they would need well over 60% to win to win the night, which seems unlikely. 600, trying to do it in my head. Yeah. Maybe when Philippe comes back, we might discuss whether it's time to call it. But but boy, this is still just such an incredible result to see. The two parties nearly at 50% of the vote. The Conservatives at just 3% in Terrebonne. C'est incroyable à voir. Juste le changement qu'on a vu à Terrebonne depuis les dernières élections. Parce que le Bloc était à 41% en 2021, 39% en 2025. Donc, ça n'a pas changé beaucoup. Mais maintenant, ils sont à 47%. Et pour les libéraux, c'était 30% en 2021, 39% en 2025. Et maintenant, c'est 48%. Just the change we've seen in this riding, just the polarization of the vote, I think that it shows that voters in the area really understood. They kind of understood the assignment. It was really close last time, probably going to be really close again this time, and they were right, because this is going to be a very close result. Not as close as one vote last time, but still going to be very close regardless of how it ends up. Turnout right now is only at 48%, so we probably will tick over 50 by the end. Philippe is not gone. He's coming back. He's coming back. Don't worry, guys. He's coming back. No. He's coming back. He just needs to find his way back. Philippe, you found your way back to us.
Sorry about that. My computer crashed. So it wasn't the internet. It was me.
Your computer couldn't believe these numbers. Your computer was like, no, this
Did
is
I miss
this is
anything?
Fake. Well, I kind of looked at it and
why can I can't get the results.
Oh.
Not secure. It's Elections Canada. So what did I miss? Tell me.
Well, you didn't miss much, but the gap is now 630 votes. And I estimate that there's about 2,800 left to count.
Oof.
So at that rate, they need to be.
It needs to be all Bloc.
They need to be well over 60%.
So I don't know why. I'll tell you this. I hook it clear cookies because I go to election.ca. I see a click for live results. I click and it says not secure. Maybe somebody can help me out here. I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, I'm not tech support. Oh, you're just gonna have to go on the sound of my voice and what I have to say.
All right. Damn.
You're gonna be hyper focused on. I'm sure you'll get it back. This is weird.
I'm gonna try another browser. Okay. Why does it just happen in the middle of the night? I'm so sorry, people who are still watching us, and I keep freezing. Right? Am I not freezing right now?
No, you're good for us.
My internet looks good. There's no reason. Okay, connection is good. Okay. Well, just let's continue. So tell me the numbers right now.
Well, it's 21,176 for Tatiana Auguste against 20,550 for Nathalie Sinclair Desgagnés. Donc, c'est une avance de 450, 500, plus que 600 votes. C'est un marge de 1,4 en faveur de Tatiana Auguste. Et il nous reste 11 boîtes de vote à compter. Et c'est tentant de...
On est proche, hein?
On est proche, oui.
On est proche,
mais...
Fait que, on disait une bonne soirée pour les libéraux. C'était un sweep. C'était un balayage. They're very close. No, we're not gonna call it right away. That would not be VPN setting. How do I do that? This is a new computer that I bought just for this. I mean, just turn on VPN. Turn off VPN or turn on VPN?
I'm sure this will end up fine.
Yeah,
whatever you do is gonna work.
I can't see the results. That's so annoying. Anyway, nope, problem loading page. Okay, I'm gonna rely on you then, people. I'm just gonna go.
You can just actually tune into us on YouTube if you just.
That's right.
You can find.
That's right. Oh yeah, I can see it now. Okay.
It's working.
Yeah. No, I see on YouTube our feed. I see Tatiana Auguste on top because we closed the other ones are done, right? So
okay. Well, they're almost done. University-Rosedale is 6 boxes still to go. I don't think it's going to happen for Serena Purdy.
Wow.
No, we already called that. But it is all Terrebonne right now. On attend les dernières boîtes.
Les dernières boîtes.
On est à 200 de 211 qui nous reste.
Je n'ai jamais l'intention de faire de la politique.
Someone has a great idea. Get your phone out.
That's true. Well, I was going to try another browser. I'll get my phone out. La face, c'est que le prof en moi aussi n'aime pas ça d'avoir l'idée de... People don't want me to watch my phone like this and just go like, yeah, so hang on. English, français. No, can't reach this page. Oh my God. Why? I don't know how the internet works. Like, if you can see the page, why can't I? I clear the cookies, the VPN. Anyway.
I don't know.
Unless you're streaming in from Mongolia, you don't need a VPN on. Yeah, the thing is, my McAfee just says sometimes, oh, the VPN is blocking this. Like, okay. Sorry, maybe I'm old. I know computer programming, but I don't understand the internet clearly. Sorry about this.
Anyway, Anyway, people are giving you IT advice in the chat. I won't relay.
That's very, very nice, by the way. I appreciate that. There are some people who are not very nice. No, don't do that to me. Too many F5. I don't think there's no such thing as too many F5s. So tell me the score, Éric. Tell me the score.
Well, it hasn't changed. We're still at 200 boxes in Terrebonne, so that's kind of where we are. Do you have time to uninstall McAfee? Why don't you do that right now? Just uninstall. Did you try unplugging the computer and then plugging it back in?
I restarted.
Did you restart?
Computer. Yes, I did. Yeah.
All right.
But maybe they blocked me, like they did during the campaign or something. They blocked 338 during the campaign.
That was not very fun.
I did. No, that was not fun.
Anyway, okay. Well, we're still just in a holding pattern right now, waiting for these last ones to come in. Because we're only at 11 boxes.
Take out my phone, but it's the same. Oh yeah, okay. I'll turn off. Sorry, but this is boring. I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right. We've been talking about just numbers on a screen all night, so the standards are variable.
Elections, and we have almost 2,000 people. Thank you, people, for being here. I appreciate it.
Are any of you IT experts? Please Philippe will give permission to you. You will be able to log into his computer and fix it all up. I'm going to give you my passwords, and you can. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay.
I'll try with my phone.
So we got 6 boxes still to go in University-Rosedale.
Okay, it works on a phone. There you go.
There you go. All right. All is good in the world. 29.5% turnout in University-Rosedale, so it'll tick over to 30. So we ended up at 33.5% Scarborough Southwest. Still got 20,000 votes for Dolly Begum, which is...
It's impressive.
I mean, they got 33 last time, but I mean, you look at the other parties, it was just a cakewalk for the Liberals in Toronto. And you look at the other parties, the Greens had 2.8, PBC at 0.7. In University-Rosedale and Scarborough Southwest, the Greens had 2.5, PBC at 0.9. Interesting that the Greens have picked up a little bit, because once again, these smaller parties tend not to do very well in by-elections. There's a question, when is a recount required? I don't think this margin would be in recount territory.
If you can prove irregularities, of course, but the automatic is 0.1%. So we're not there yet.
No.
And I'll check my phone for the results. Refresh. Ça n'a pas changé. All right. 626 votes. Yeah. Now the chat is going too fast. I can't. But okay. I feel like I'm blind here. Can't see the results. I'm so mad. Maybe if I go in La Presse or something, they would have the results, right? Why does that happen like in the middle of the night?
Just at the end.
There's no live tracker on La Presse. Radio-Canada must have it, right? This is fascinating for people.
Yes, I know.
I'm gonna have a great quiz on Thursday to make up to that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Je pense que mon anglais est très fatigué. Je commence à déparler beaucoup.
Ouais.
Mais ça paraît. Fait que je vais essayer radiocanada.ca. Radio-Canada is not loading anymore. The internet is broken. So But so turn off VPN. The VPN is turned off from McAfee. I turned it off. It was already off. I didn't turn it on.
Oh, it says Global has one.
Global. Thank you. I'm going right now on Global. Global News. Thank you. Global News.
Success?
I'll tell you. Live results. Come on. Oh, I like that.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's fine.
Does it have colors?
It has colors.
Ooh.
And Terrebonne is still pale, though. So if I click on it, do I accept the cookies? I do. Okay. So, okay, I see it now.
What do you got? Just to make sure we're on the same page.
21,176 for
All right.
Tatiana Auguste.
Very good.
20,550 for Nathalie Saint-Clair Desgagne.
Très bien, très bien. OK.
And Adrienne Charles de Conservative, still 3%. 3.3%.
Incroyable.
Oui, c'est une
OK.
mauvaise soirée.
En attendant les dernières boîtes, est-ce que tu peux nous raconter tes expériences à le congrès de la CAQ hier à Drummondville?
Oui, donc on va prendre juste une petite minute parce que je pense que many people will shut this off if. Alors, la CAQ a choisi une nouvelle chef hier. Christine Fréchette va devenir première ministre du Québec mercredi matin. Elle a été choisie par les membres de la CAQ. Le congrès à Drummondville était différent. Différent du congrès des libéraux fédéraux à Montréal, bien sûr. C'était beaucoup moins festif, mais il y avait quand même beaucoup de monde. Je pense qu'ils ont dit 1500 personnes à Drummondville, et donc c'était bien. Mais je dirais que le spectacle comme tel, et plusieurs gens ont vu des memes aujourd'hui là-dessus, la musique était très forte, et entre la fin des discours, des speeches, et le dévoilement des résultats, nous avons eu droit à du karaoké. And people can be good at karaoke, but not a lot of people can pull off Céline Dion, right? Alors, ils ont chanté L'amour existe encore de Céline Dion et mes oreilles faisaient mal. Mais bon, c'est correct. Des gens qui se distrayaient, qui se faisaient un peu plaisir sur la scène. Mais il y avait un sentiment dans la salle et aux gens à qui j'ai parlé de... Ouais, on sait que ça va pas bien à la CAQ, mais peut-être Mme Fréchette avoir des meilleurs sondages, peut-être qu'on va survivre. C'était pas du tout la même chose que ce qu'on a vu avec les libéraux, même les conservateurs à Calgary. Alors, à suivre, on va avoir des nouveaux chiffres au Québec très bientôt avec Mme Fréchette dans le questionnaire. Donc, à suivre.
OK. Oui, ça a l'air que ça swingait fort.
Ça swingait fort.
As-tu visité le café Rose?
Non, j'ai pas eu le temps, non, je sais. On m'a dit d'aller à une fromagerie aussi, je me rappelle plus le nom, mais c'était du travail, j'avais pas le temps. Un dimanche soir à Drummondville après beaucoup de travail, donc. Mais je vais y retourner.
OK.
Je vais y retourner.
So we did get
Où en sommes-nous?
On a eu deux boîtes de plus.
Oui.
Et c'est toujours une avance de 658 votes.
Oui.
1,5 points entre les deux parties. Il nous reste 9 boîtes.
Boy, hein, je sais, hein. Ça prend... c'est pas impossible, mais ça prend vraiment des boîtes avantageuses pour Mme Saint-Clair-Desgagne. On est rendu...
Parce que il nous reste probablement 2000 votes au maximum.
Elle a besoin
Je dis ça, mais c'est possible que les dernières boîtes vont être les votes par anticipation les plus grandes. On ne sait pas. Mais ça a l'air que dans les dernières boîtes qu'on a vues, que c'était pas des boîtes avec 300, 400 votes. Mais si c'est 2000 votes, et il faut que c'est une avance de 600 votes pour le bloc, c'est comme d'avoir 1300 votes sur 2000.
Exact.
C'est
65%.
Oui, je pense.
Ça commence à être lourd.
Oui, ça commence à être impossible.
Et le site a débloqué. J'ai rien fait. Merci beaucoup tout le monde pour votre aide. I didn't do anything. It came back. So
we just manifested it. You put it out into the ether.
There you go.
And
Thanks
clear
for your
up.
help. Whoever hacked my.
Someone in the Dean in says Radcan says there's a box with 1,000 votes.
Really? Early votes, I guess. But the thing is, we don't know, but I don't want to say common, but You would think that the early vote would slightly advantage the Liberals, but it depends where it's from.
Yeah, well, that's it. It depends where it's
We
from.
can't. Yeah,
And
so we'll wait.
because sometimes the networks, Radcan and CBC, they talk to Elections Canada, so they have an idea of what's left. Here, right. I'm just checking to make sure I don't have like an email I missed.
Where's the needle now? It's slightly tilted towards red. Slightly.
Slightly?
Well, if there's a box with 1,000 votes, I mean, the average box you said at what, 300 votes? So this is like three. Well, okay, yeah, it's three. Like this box is worth 3 boxes. You're not. You want to call it? Do you want to call it?
I don't want to call it because if we call it, we're going to end up. I don't feel confident enough.
Yeah.
Especially again, what happened? We got burned with the Toronto St. Paul's.
No. We went to bed. We
didn't
never
call it.
Called
You're right. We didn't call it.
We never, and we said specifically at 2 a.m. with bags under our eyes.
We said we're tired.
We said we can't do this anymore. We went to bed. We never called Toronto St. Paul. Well, I mean, if I had we made a call, I would own it. I would live with it, but we didn't. So.
Yeah. All right, we'll wait. We'll wait for a couple more at least.
What are you doing tomorrow anyway?
I'm getting a dishwasher delivered.
Oh,
installed. My dishwasher conked out. Yeah. That's very sad.
What do I have tomorrow? I'm doing CBC radio tomorrow. Probably going to do some TV as well.
You know what? After the last couple of weeks, so people don't know, we were at the convention for the NEP leadership in Winnipeg 2 weekends ago, and then we were in Montreal for the Liberal convention. It's been a busy time the last couple of weeks. Like oddly, you get into a scenario where you don't expect an election around the corner. You think, things are going to be quiet.
Yeah.
No, like this, the news cycle, as I said, just the last year and a half has just been insane. And it just won't stop. And I'm not sure that it's going to stop with a majority, because I'm not exactly sure that things are going to be great for the Conservative leader. If you had to, okay, here's a good question.
Okay, allons-y. It's late. Let's go.
People are congratulating me on my dishwasher. Okay, you didn't hear the story. My dishwasher stopped working.
But you have a new one now. It's fun.
Yeah.
Don't lose your train of thought, but we'll have to talk about your dishwasher. Mine is on the internet for some reason. Okay, go ahead.
No, maybe it's the one that was getting the
maybe. So the Conservatives, yes.
What are the odds that you would give right now that there will be a Conservative leadership race in the foreseeable future? I mean, honestly, before tonight, I would have said maybe 40%.
40% this year, or just
in the foreseeable, whatever, maybe the race
before the next election,
but just in the next little while.
Yeah,
I would have said maybe 40%. Okay, maybe 35. I don't.
Okay, one third.
But I actually think these by-elections are combined with the fact that it will give a majority. Weak results for the Conservatives. Could be more floor crossers in the next few days. Because look, if you're a Conservative right now who was thinking about floor crossing, these results are not going to help. They might not be the thing that actually change your mind or anything like that, but they're certainly not arguing for you to stick around.
No.
I would give higher odds than I would have a few hours ago.
You're right, and we know from credible reports that loose lips on the Conservative caucus, that some of them are not happy with Poilievre's leadership. But the thing is, if you're Poilievre and his team, you can go, well, suck it up. I don't care. I just had 87%. So will they really it's a Reform Act? Will they really go with the Reform Act and push Poilievre out the door? I really don't think so. Poilievre, I have a column today in the Walrus. It's a version of English version of what I wrote in L'Actualité last week, with more details with English Canada. Poilievre has really captured the youth vote. Now, they're statistically tied with young voters, with the Liberals, the Carney Liberals. It's just that when you look at pre-Poilievre, they were a distant third among young voters. I pulled a poll. It was a week after Erin O'Toole became leader, so late August 2020. And the NDP was first among young voters, Liberals were a close second, and distant third were the Conservatives. And this was a trend. As soon as Poilievre became leader of the Conservatives, you saw the youth vote go up for the Conservatives. So I'm not saying it's everything, but many conservatives really love Pierre, and the ones I talk to at the convention floor, they say if Pierre is pushed out, we could find ourselves in worse situation. Like the next leader could be worse. Yeah, and so it's a big risk.
But you're applying like rationality and logic to what is in the end could be very well an emotional decision, right?
That's true.
Whether you just kind of feel like that you have the gut that the guy is going to do it, and yeah, I mean, okay, so if I said it was 35, and now if I would say it was 40, you're saying it's more like
10.
Oh, okay. Oof,
10,
you're
15.
not even in the same ballpark as me.
No.
I just feel like 3.5 years is going to be a long time. If we continue to see polling numbers for the Conservatives that are pretty much what Aaron O'Toole or Andrew Scheer did.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you can find some polling data that says you're real popular with the young people who don't vote enough. But, like, I don't know. At some point, you wonder if the caucus, who could make the wrong decision. Like you said, they could end up choosing someone who's worse. It's not a given that replacing Poilievre is going to help the Conservatives. Could make things worse. He could still be the right person to lead the party into the next election if the context, if the issue in the next election is different. But it's still a long time to sit on your hands when you've had like all the stories we've seen do not suggest that caucus management has been a strength of Pierre Poilievre. So 3 years. Anyway, I think I'm just overreacting to these by-election results because they're just so much. Once we've gotten used to the Conservatives doing well in by-election.
Yeah. Yes.
Just performing well everywhere. This is the first time where they've not only the polling's bad, but the results are bad.
I'm with you tonight. I mean, we don't want to overstate things too much. Like, we will have to be careful with by-elections not to overblow this. It's just, but yes, you are correct. These are disastrous results for the Conservatives in all three ridings. They're not so. If you had told me they got 3% in Terrebonne, I was like, really? What the hell? You're not supposed to go from 18 to 3%. That's really bad. Mm-hmm. But unless I see Conservatives speak out against Poilievre and stay. Like those who spoke out, they did so, I don't want to say quietly, but even with the floor crossers, they didn't like completely trash Poilievre on their way out. They said they didn't believe in this leadership and that Mark Carney was the real option, blah, blah, blah. But unless I see like prominent conservatives in this country call out Monsieur Poilievre, he's going to, and plus he's never going to resign. He's going to have to be pushed out. So.
Yeah, I think that's likely. OK, on a eu plus 3 boîtes. On est à 205. Il nous reste 6 boîtes.
Ouf.
C'est une avance de
1,6.
700 votes.
1,6%. Are we calling it? Is that it? 97% of boxes. We're taking a risk here. Je dirais que mon aiguille du New York Times maintenant, the needle is not just tilting right, it's...
Oui, mais toute cette histoire une boîte avec 1000 votes là-dedans.
Mais c'était pas celle-là, n'est-ce pas? Clairement, ça a été long avant qu'on ait une nouvelle boîte, mais ce n'était pas celle-là. So 21,666 for Madame Adugus, 48.4%, 46,8% pour Nathalie Sainte-Claire Desgagnés du Bloc québécois, une avance de 697 votes, presque 700 votes. Ça...
Non, c'est plus que 600.
Ah non, t'as raison, excuse-moi. Oui, excuse-moi, c'est 700. Hein, 730, 30, je peux plus compter, 35 votes. 735 votes. Je le fais sans calculatrice, mon cher. Je suis un ancien croupier, j'étais bon en calcul mental, je suis capable de compter, mais bon.
J'ai été en histoire en université. On est à 207.
Allons voir. Refresh. Est-ce que c'est plus serré? Non, c'est pas plus serré. 1,7% d'avance pour Madame Auguste.
If it doesn't get closer and there's fewer things.
4 boxes left. Alors, s'il y a 4 boîtes, et admettons que c'est des grosses boîtes, qu'il reste 2500 votes. Ça veut dire qu'elle doit gagner par une marge de au moins... Là, on est rendu à presque 800 votes. Yeah, I think... are we doing it?
Can you still go to Election Atlas?
Yes, I can. Why?
Look at the advanced poll from the last election and see if any of them were won by that kind of margin.
Wait, do you have the advance vote?
Yeah, I think so. If you click on the writing, you can choose advanced versus...
This website is so awesome. Advanced, really? Okay.
It's going to be the big ones.
Yeah. OK. Le Bloc a plus de points. Le Bloc a gagné l'advance vote. Pas par beaucoup, par exemple.
Did they win anything by 700 votes?
Non. Je vois direct dans le centre-ville de Terrebonne. C'était serré. Mais il y a plus de Bloc que de libéral. Ouais. Yeah. Anything new? Est-ce qu'il y a une autre boîte? Éric, you want to call it? Is it me again?
We don't want to call it as if that we're like a national network and we're going to get in trouble if in 5 minutes we say, "Oops, we missed it."
Penses-tu vraiment que les gens vont regarder Radio-Canada, puis Global, puis TVA ce soir? Non, regardez-nous sur YouTube, les chiffres. On va avoir une analyse en plus. Merci, encore une fois, merci tout le monde. Merci d'être là. On apprécie. Vous m'avez beaucoup fait rire dans les commentaires. Many of the comments were really funny, and that this is something that many people in all conventions I went to told us. They love the podcast because it's lighter, because we talk about serious stuff, but we have a little fun with it. We don't yell at each other, and we just, it's numbers, it's polling. Yes, it's serious politics, but we don't have to take ourselves seriously. And I know Éric personally now. He's my friend. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He's funny. He's generally funny. And so, so let's call it. I say we do it.
All right, you go do it.
Let me refresh.
Say the line.
Oh, God damn it. Is that me?
Apparently Rad Canada's called it, so...
What? Really?
Well, someone said this in the...
Yeah,
they might just be goading us on, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rad
You don't want to call it. Rad Can already did. Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Now, we could continue the tension and the drama to try to retain the audience, right?
Yeah.
It's very close, guys.
Yeah, if we call it, they're all going to go to bed. But no. If you're here until midnight, and by the way, good evening to those West Coaster. If you're from BC or Alberta or Saskatchewan, Manitoba, say hello. It's earlier for you. I have to work early in the morning, and it's midnight in East. Oh, by the way, same thing. If you're in the Atlantic provinces and it's really late now, and you're following, you are election nerds, and I say this with very affectionately. So, okay, I say Madame Nathalie Saint-Clair de Gagné needs 800 additional votes, and there are 4 boxes left. So those boxes would have to really be big and really tilt for the Bloc Québécois. I say... I'd like one more box. Give us one more. And that box will be tied and we will okay. So,
all right,
call it, you cowards. Hey.
We're not cowards. We're just responsible journalists.
No, it's just because when you're burned before, you become very, very St. John's and it's late for you. You should go to bed, my friend. When you get burned before, like that Radio-Canada, when I know it's 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, when they called Jean Charest losing in 2007, it hurt. It hurt a lot of people, and we know the reason. Like they thought I think the story is that they thought the advance vote had been counted and it hadn't, right? And Liberals had in Sherbrooke had tallied all these votes, and in the end he won. So. Anyway.
We're being cheered on to wait for one more box. So
okay, one more box.
One more, and
one more,
maybe more, depending on what that box shows.
I mean, if the next box shows a tightening, we will have been correct. If the next box shows a widening, we're calling it. There you go.
It's 770 votes right now. So let's just see what's going to happen.
But
Still
we're
University
heading.
Rosedale. University-Rosedale is still got 3 left.
Yeah, they went for coffee or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go get my cat again
Oh
and
man.
bring her up. For those who weren't there, I brought Shiva. She was so cute. Anyway, so if another 5 conservatives cross the floor, wouldn't that be as fatal to Poilievre's chances to hold his leadership as would a recall by his caucus? Here's the thing. I don't know. I think you're in a normal world. You're right. When you start losing MPs left and right, at some point it's a bad sign. But if the remaining MPs really like Poilievre, it's like I read was it in Globe and Mail? I think somebody wrote like if you don't like Poilievre, don't cross over. Just push the leader out, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway,
yeah,
so it could be.
I just think if he loses 5 more, like, I mean, at some point, even if it's like...
At some point, yeah.
At some point, it's just too much. Like, you can't not... like, to have already lost 4 is huge.
Yeah, it's never happened.
We don't see it, like, we don't see that kind of thing happen very often, right? So to have it happen in this way, in the current context, where, like, the Conservatives aren't... It's not like the Conservatives are this party that's imploding with, big problems and scandals and things, and people are like jumping ship. They're just going over to the Liberals, and it's if it is 5 more, like, that's it. Like, I can't imagine how he could stay on, but he might still try. And the thing we got to remember is that if the Reform Act, so for people who don't know, the Reform Act is the thing that's passed in the House. If each party adopts it at the beginning of Parliament, that allows more or less leadership recalls. But it requires a certain number of MPs to vote in favor of having a leadership vote within caucus. But every time that some more MPs leave, the people who would have voted against them leave, which reduces the denominator of, you know what I mean? So, like, it becomes a bit more challenging, I guess, because right now, if there's 5 that would vote for changing Poilievre, and then they go over to the Liberals, well, there's 5 fewer problems within his caucus. But I just think that could be the end, especially after such a poor showing in these by-elections. Again, they're not huge. People aren't going to like put a huge amount of emphasis on the results in these by-elections, but we watch a lot of by-elections. Conservatives are pretty reliably okay in by-elections. I'm actually kind of surprised how low they've performed in these. Not even just in Terrebonne. Terrebonne, I think, is a very specific situation, but the other two, like, the party should still be good in Scarborough. The voters in that riding fit the profile of what, the Conservatives should be able to do okay, right? So, anyway. So,
the Conservatives right now have 140 MPs. You need 20% for the Reform Act. So, if 20% of MPs, which mean 28, is that right? Yes, 28.
Let me break out old...
So, if 28 MPs of the Conservative... Is that right? Yeah. Decide to sign a letter and sign a petition, they can force a vote of confidence among MPs in a secret vote to keep the leader. That's still a lot of people, though. And if there is a petition going around, or at some point, if a petition is starting to go around, we will know about it. So if you want Poilievre out, you could just leak to the media. Oh yeah, there's a petition. We'll see if we get the names, right? I don't think we've heard that. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Come on, give us that box in Terrebonne. Sorry, give us that box in Terrebonne.
Go to a vote would be bad enough.
It would be.
O'Toole actually lost the vote.
Yes.
But the fact that it got there is enough, right? Because when you think about when Justin Trudeau resigned, I don't think he had that many MPs who had publicly or came out and said that he should go, right? But at some point, the writing's on the wall.
I agree.
But it is there's a different context when you're an actual sitting government. You have a little bit more responsibility to try to keep your party in good shape. Poilievre doesn't really have that same kind of responsibility because someone else could come along and burn it to the ground, right? Like, he's not handing over a government. So it's a bit of a different situation. But anyway, that is still going to be something to watch. Out of all the leaders tonight, well, okay, assuming we call this for the Liberals.
Assuming we get the last box, yes.
Yeah. C'est quoi le bilan pour le Bloc québécois ce soir? C'est quoi le... Est-ce que c'est un échec?
C'est pas un... Ben, c'est sûr qu'il y avait un comté et ils l'ont perdu. Ben, ils l'ont perdu. S'ils le perdent. C'est pas fini. S'ils le perdent. Mais il reste qu'ils sont tout près d'avoir 47% du vote. Ils ont presque matché leur totaux en termes de vote absolu à l'élection générale, dans une partielle, ce qui est phénoménal. Je peux pas dire que c'est un échec complet pour le Bloc québécois. Je veux dire, il y a une vague Carney. Madame Auguste, clairement, et M. Carney ont fait une bonne campagne locale. J'ai de la misère à vraiment dire c'est un échec pour le Bloc québécois sur toute la ligne. Non, on parle de moins de 2% d'écart. Et là, je dis ça, bien sûr, check bien, prochaine boîte, 1000 votes de plus pour Mme Auguste. mais moi, I wouldn't say it's a complete fail for the Bloc. Would you agree, or am I too lenient here on am I too soft on the Bloc?
I mean, the simple thing is the winners are the winners, the losers are the losers. But here, I mean, the Bloc still picked up its vote, at least at this stage, by 7 points. 47% for the Bloc in this riding is a really good result.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can say it's like a good number, but it's not bad. Anyway, we got more results apparently.
Refresh.
1.6.
What was it earlier? It was
210 votes.
It got tighter, but not enough. So that's one box. No, there's only one box left. Okay. Éric, there's only one box left.
Go ahead.
With 99.5% of the box counted. The numbers boldly declare the Liberals in Tatiana Auguste winner in Terrebonne. Les libéraux remportent Terrebonne. On est capable de dire ça puisqu'il reste juste une boîte de scrutin. Et à moins que cette boîte de scrutin contienne 800 votes de plus pour la bloquiste que pour la libérale, Mme Auguste va redevenir députée. Et cette fois-ci, il n'y aura pas de jugement de Cour suprême, à moins que. Mais il n'y aura pas aussi la marge pour avoir le recomptage judiciaire. Donc voilà,
quoi,
Liberal sweep.
On a vu assez?
Ben, on a vu toutes les boîtes sauf une. I mean, if we wrong on this, that stupid box, I'm never calling anything again if that box fails us.
Yes, we have now called it. Big thing on the screen. Boom.
Boom.
It's now a 3 for 3 for the Liberals. They end up with 174 seats, with 169 for the opposition. They now have a 5-seat majority. With the Speaker, they have now a 4-seat majority. Lots of extra kind of cushion for a couple of people to take some vacations when voting, or for, you know what, the Prime Minister to boot out an MP or two if they become problematic. So it's a big result for the Liberals. All right. What should we do here? Should we close the evening? Should we do
I think we should.
Table?
I will not I will not forgive myself if that box changes the result that much, but it's 12:11 in the east. We've been here for almost 4 hours. I think that's a good night. And I see people calling us courageous.
Hey, come on. We don't know. We could have let the voters speak.
Can you imagine? After all the votes are counted, the numbers declare the winner.
Yeah, at that point, we have to do it. That's true. We have to do it at least with one box left, so that we're at least doing something ourselves.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we're just reading like one number is bigger than the other number.
There's no like, okay, so 210 of 211. That's it, right? There's no like, and there's 30 more boxes.
There's no
to
secret
count
box.
Advanced vote. But that advanced vote, that's inside of this, right?
Yes. There's no bonus box. There's no like secret track at the end of the count.
Turnout over 50% for a by-election. Very good. People
very respectable
for this one. Yep, yeah, absolutely.
And thank you to the people of Terrebonne for giving us a show. It was quite...
211. It's over. It's over. Yep. There you go. Right. And we were right.
And you know what? They finished before University-Rosedale. So what the heck? University-Rosedale.
They went for coffee. All right, I think we're done.
I think we're done.
People who are here, I want to say a big thank you. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. J'espère que vous avez apprécié cette diffusion en direct, this live stream. Nous allons en faire d'autres, évidemment. Les chiffres, www.leschiffres.ca en français, thenumberspod.ca in English. Support us to do the podcast. We play quizzes, we make bets, we have fun with over-unders and stuff. So join us next time. Éric, I'll let you have the last word on this live stream.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a historic night. The Liberals get their majority that they haven't had since 2019. So this is the first time they're back into a majority situation. They had a pretty strong night, rough night for the Conservatives. The NDP picked up a little bit, but not enough really to change the game. The Bloc put up a respectable fight, but in the end, they dropped here. If you want to support the podcast, you go to thenumberspod.ca. You can support us. You get bonus episodes, early episodes, ad-free episodes, and also just show your support so that we can continue doing this. We'll be back with some more live streams this year, assuming we have some by-elections. And we have a podcast every Thursday. We'll have one this week. So we hope that you'll join us. So thanks a lot, Philippe. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to all the people who volunteered. Thanks to the people who put their names forward for all these by-elections. It's important for people to be involved. And it's been the chat. You guys have been great. This has been a great chat tonight. Who said this is an amazing. You guys have been fun to spend the night with. So good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Au revoir.